Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the day 3 of the Irish Winter National Championships. These are the heats, the final day of competition. I'm David Thompson. I'm joined today by India McGlynn, former UCD swimmer. So today we've got a few great events. Daniel Whiffen coming up in the 400 freestyle. 200 medley will be fantastic as well, both for men and women. And we also have the splash and dash in the 50 free. India, there was some great racing yesterday, wasn't there?
Yeah, some fantastic racing yesterday. We had that Irish senior record come in from Ellen Walsh in the 50-metre butterfly, so really showing that she is back on form. And we've got her swimming back in the pool today, so looking forward to seeing what times she can hit in the 100 fly. And I think she's in the 50 free as well today. I'll have a flick through these sheets now. So the events that we've got on this morning, folks, we've got the men and women 200-metre backstroke to kick off the event. Then we're going into some splash and dash events, just like David was saying. So we've got the 50 front crawl for men and women, straight into the 50 breaststroke for men and women. Then we are going into some of our longer events. So we've got the 100-metre butterfly, again, men and women, going straight into the 200 IM. And then finishing off with that 400 front crawl, we've got Daniel Whiffen coming in that men's 400-metre front crawl. What are your predictions there, David?
Yeah, I think he'll probably take it out a bit easier this morning to probably save himself for tonight. Like a lot of these experienced swimmers do now. But I think he'll be well under that 340 barrier. Well, it won't even be a barrier for him, I don't think, tonight. He'll be in and around 338 maybe even faster at a 337. So, yeah, it's going to be a fantastic race. No doubt it'll be an Irish senior record, so some really, really great racing to look forward to. First up, we've got the men's, is it? Yep, men's 200 backstroke coming up now in a minute. So day 3 of competition, starting to get a wee bit tired. Even though it's only 3 days, the racing's been packed into a much tighter schedule. So, athletes have to really, really manage their nutrition, their hydration, and really ensure that by this one, day 3, that they're still at an optimum level. So, 200 back, we've got 4 heats in this one. All these guys will just be looking to get through tonight, work on skills. Obviously, we've had the 50 back and 100 back. The 100 back won by John Short of Limerick. I'm not sure if he's in this one, India, is he?
He is, yeah. He's going into heat 4. He's the fastest qualifier actually into this 200 backstroke. John Short, the 15-year-old, he swims in the National Centre at Limerick, but originally from Bluefin. He's having an absolutely cracker of a competition.
He is, yeah.
This round.
Yeah, fantastic competition. It's for someone so young. I was chatting to his coach last night. He swims it so maturely. Like that 100 backstroke especially was such a mature race for such a young swimmer.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's coming in on a 2 flat there, so 2:00:11. I definitely feel like he's going to be smashing that today.
Yeah, I think that 2-minute barrier, once you get under that 2-minute barrier on the 200 back short course, that's a great springboard to then go and even do it long course. So yeah, a lot of people here will be looking to try and crack that 2 minutes barrier. Obviously, the Irish senior record is a 1:54.3. And that is held by Conor Ferguson from all the way back in 2016, so an old record.
So we've got the first heat coming out now. They're all just pumping themselves up. Again, like David said, it's been a long 3 days. We've had lots of swimming packed into the 3 days, so hopefully these swimmers can keep it going for day 3. We've got some exciting swims coming up.
Yeah, first up, 9:30. These boys getting ready to go, getting psyched up. So you see the wedges for backstroke there. The different swimmers will place it to their desired height, just to give them that extra added layer of confidence that their feet don't slip. Heat 1. And we're away. We've got McGrath in 0, Cormagan in 1, O'Sullivan lane 2, Fahy have chosen lane 3, James Woolley lane 4, Byrne is 5, Mullen 6, Luke Woolley in lane 7, Daniel Beggs is in lane 8 of Lauren, and Alexander Newman in lane 9. What are we looking for this morning?
So I wasn't really a 200 backstroker, to be honest. So we've got the first heat coming in, fastest qualifying time coming in at 2:16. So really on a 200 backstroke, like we said before, 200s have really kind of turned more into a sprint event than they have come into the endurance event. But particularly on backstroke, it is about keeping that long, strong stroke, really keeping a nice head position, good leg kick behind. We've seen a couple of leg kicks definitely breaking the surface, so trying to keep that underneath the surface as they go through this first 100. If they're looking to break that 216 today, we're going to be looking for them to turn around a 104 coming up in this first 100.
Yeah, 100%. So somewhere in the middle lanes, taking it out really well here, really, really controlled. That's James Woolley, Claire Morris, really taking the field within his grasp and saying, can you catch me? 63-0 he's out in, so right, he's, like India said, you've got to keep that kick going. Backstroke's really taxing on the legs, especially at 200 backstroke. Just sort of the angles of how you kick on your back is very different to how you kick on your front. It's far harder on the hip flexors, far harder on the fronts of the thighs. You know, when you kick on your front on a freestyle, you know, you feel it a lot more sort of in your hamstrings, similar on fly. Feel just tightening up here. Last 50 in it.
Takes years to gain that experience though, doesn't it? As you can see kind of in this first heat, the swimmers in this heat, they're not really attacking the walls, they're using that underwater to their best advantage, to be honest. But again, like we said, you'll see, like say the likes of Mark Sharonek, he has spent years perfecting that underwater work, so you can see that these swimmers, even though they're doing a fast time, they definitely can improve if they start to improve that underwater work.
Definitely. So it's Rowan Fahy coming through here. Great backhand from him. He swam it really strongly. The Trojan swimmer is at 2:12.37.
Be happy with
Great
that
swim from him. Yeah, that's under his best. So Mark Cormican from lane 1 in second, and a 2:14.6. And James Woolley hung on for the bronze. Took it out hard, paid the price at the end. Still PB though.
Yeah, some fantastic swims actually in that race there. We've had 2:12s, 2:14s. I think a lot of swimmers there are going to be happy with a PB in a morning swim. So heat 2 ready and lined up. Just getting themselves pumped up now for this second heat.
This is heat 2 of 4, just the 4 heats here. So, of course, there'll be A, B, and C finals. So, the majority of these swimmers will actually end up going through to tonight.
Were you ever a backstroke swimmer yourself, David?
No. When I was very young I was, but I was a one-stroke wonder. Freestyle. Heat 2. On their way. Okay, so lane 0, Killian Murphy, Swilly Sales, Kieran Watterson of lane 1, Niall McEwen in lane 2, Ben Merrigan, lane 3, lane 4, it's Rory Boyd of Kingdom, lane 5, Robert Mullen of Temple Oak, a 16-year-old, Ray O'Shea is in lane 6, Dara Horgan of Limerick is in lane 7, Paddy Cuddity is in lane 8, the 14-year-old from Kilkenny, and the Galway swimmer Alexander McAleer in lane 9. Here we go, first 50 out. It's Ray O'Shea, 29.7. Good to get out under 30, isn't it, India?
Absolutely, yeah. Strong start there from Ray O'Shea of ESB Swimming Club, so under head coach Rory McGlynn. Going really strong actually here, keeping that nice high stroke rate. Head position looks good. Again, like we saw in the 200 fly and the 200 breaststroke and the 200 front crawl, there are different ways to swim this 200 meters. So we've got certain people that can take it out harder on that first 100 and just try and hold on. But then just like we saw in that last heat, we had people that take it out just that little bit smoother and then can really bomb the second 100. So Ray here still taking it out nice and strong, turning in a 103.18. Looking like he's going to smash his PB actually. So he's came in on a 2:15. If he can keep this tempo up, he should be going under that 2:15. Yeah,
he's gone out after it. It's great to see. You can't have fear in the 200 back. It's a really tough, grueling event. Probably the most grueling out of all the 4 strokes on the 200. So, you know, I've trained with a lot of 200 backstrokers, Conor Ferguson especially. Really great Irish swimmer. Always says you got to have so much grit for this event. It's tough. So this will be when the legs will really be hurting. Wee bit of a long turn there from O'Shea, but he needs to hang on now, go to his legs. This is the tough part now. Lane 7 coming up alongside him. That's Dara Horgan, the Limerick swimmer, the 15-year-old. But O'Shea's hanging on really well into this last turn now. So tough on the lungs, the 200 back short course.
Again, is, like you said, kind of growing up, I guess, with Aisling Cooney, definitely more of a 100-metre backstroker than a 200-metre backstroker. And you could see the difference in pain between a 100-metre backstroke and a 200-metre backstroke. I think we've got our clear winner here. We've got Ray O'Shea coming in from ESB Swimming Club, 2:13.24. So a little bit slower than the previous heat winner of 2:12. But hopefully that will see him through to one of the finals tonight.
Yeah, it's a PB, I think. So, take it. You know, he took it out really well. It sort of began to sort of die off a wee bit, but he held it on really, really well. So that's all that training, those hard sessions with his coach, Rory McGlynn, paying off there.
He had a great swim yesterday, actually, in the 100-metre backstroke, came third in the B final. So I think he's going to be happy with his swim in this weekend.
It's all about that experience, isn't it? Racing in finals, racing heats to finals, managing yourself.
Yeah, particularly like you said, it's only a 3-day event, so trying to pack all that swimming into 3 days. So you have the difference of a 5-day event, it's a little bit longer. So you'll feel a little bit more taxed on a 5-day event, but trying to pack all that swimming into 3 days is also very taxing on the muscles.
Absolutely, better them than us. We're on to heat 3 now, of 4.
Look like we've got a couple of empty lanes here in heat number 3, lane 9 and lane 7 and lane 4.
Lane 9, 7 and 4. Decide to stay in bed. Okay, heat number 3. Lane 0, we have Balgos of Lauren. Lane 1, Hansberger of Hamilton. Lane 2, Charlie Cassidy of Dolphin, the 17-year-old. Lane number 3 is Schleiper Hansen of Nova, the 20-year-old. No lane 4, obviously. Lane 5, Nicholas Rutherford. Lane 6, Waring of Malta, the Maltese swimmer, the 21-year-old. And in lane 8, Liam Mathers of Banbridge, the 16-year-old. So,
I think we're going to expect a good swim here from Nicholas Rutherford. He gave a good race to John Short yesterday in the 100-metre backstroke. So I'd say he's going to take this first 100 a little bit easier, and then we might see that leg kick really come into the second 100 from Nicholas Rutherford.
Definitely, yeah, looking really smooth so far. You know, it's not only about the underwaters and the backstroke, it's so important for the turn, but it's also about that momentum into the turn. You can't decelerate. So a lot of these swimmers right now will be beginning to fatigue, beginning to tire, even though it's only halfway. But these next few turns are going to be super important to not decelerate into that turn. If you lose momentum into that turn, pay for it on the push-off. So it's a Hamilton swimmer looking really strong. Rutherford.
Got Charlie Cassidy coming up in lane 2 as well, still staying strong. But there is something about these Hamilton aquatic swimmers, their underwater work is quite impressive.
Phenomenal, yeah. Here we go, pain beginning now. Keep that rotation quick. Obviously on backstroke now, you rotate. Used to be, had to touch the wall and turn, but now you can turn over onto your front tumble turn to make it quicker. So the transition is really smooth.
So what the swimmers are doing here, they're using the flags just above them, about 5 meters out from the wall, and they'll know how many strokes it takes them to get into the wall. So majority of the time they're counting it pretty well. Sometimes a little bit of a glide into the wall, but this Hamilton swimmer now coming in, Rutherford, kicking in and finishing strong in a 2:05.09. Very strong swim there from Rutherford.
Great swim, yeah, 2:05.0. Good bit faster than his entry. And a 2:08.5, so that's the fastest mark so far. He'll be safely into the final, no problem. Charlie Cassidy of Dolphin as well. 2:07.0. That's a PB as well. So there's your results. 3 swimmers obviously not there.
Yeah, so it looks like it's definitely going to be a final for majority of swimmers here with so many empty lanes this morning.
That's right, yeah.
Pretty much just take it out easy and strong and just try and stay relaxed and saving some energy for this evening.
Yeah, definitely. So in the final heat now with the 200 backstroke. Usually the 200 back is at the end of the sessions. So this is the first time it's in a while, I think it's been at the front. So 200 backstrokers getting their day in the sun first up.
Again, John Short coming in here in lane number 4. Really strong swim from him yesterday in the 100-metre backstroke. So let's see how close he can get to that 2:05 just set by Nicholas Rutherford.
Yeah, these swimmers will have had a long wait in the call room there. 3 heats. Backstroke obviously very different. You start in the water, so.
Thanks so much.
And we're off. Great start. No false starts there.
Thanks, you're very good.
Just go through the lanes quickly. Emma Cousins, lane 0. Adam Barnes of the National Centre Ulster is in lane 1. Irwin is 2. Waring is 3. John Short, like India mentioned, from National Centre Limerick, the 15-year-old, lane 4. Saba, lane 5. Byrne, lane 6. Shafi is in lane 7 from Hamilton. His teammate is in lane 8, Gerst. And from the Titan Swim Club, it's Shobot. So very bunched up here, India. First 50.
We are, sorry, getting a little bit distracted there. David Heatley very kindly bringing us up a cup of coffee. But we've got a strong start there in lane number 2. We've got Neddy Irwin of Dolphin Swimming Club going out in at 28. So again, it's going to be a much faster heat, I think, this one here. Let's see the race tactics from some of these swimmers, who's going to take it out faster and who's going to bring back that second 100 a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I love how John Short swims. I love how he whips that hand over on the recovery. So, you know, of course, in the recovery phase on backstroke, you know, you're not getting any propulsion, but he's really, look at the purpose with each stroke. Okay, you can probably keep that head a wee bit more still, but really coming over strongly, just commanding swim here.
Really strong start from him, coming out on a 57.80, so he's trying to show his dominance here, I think, in the 200-metre backstroke in his heat swim.
Yeah, he's showing off a bit, John. Come on. Give the others a chance. Here we go, last 50. That was a 29.5 split for the third 50. Really strong, 127. He's going to be well under 2 here unless he completely switches off, which looks like he's not. He's bringing it home strong. His coach, John Shranick, obviously has told him, go for it this morning. Take every chance to swim fast.
Yeah, he's going to smash this 2-minute time.
Yeah, he's going to be well in.
Coming in his heat time of 2:00.11 and finishing strong on a 1:57.46. So coming back just on a 1:00 after that 57.80 split time. Really great swim from John Short there. He's looking really strong again today.
Yeah, really, really strong. I'm not sure what the Irish junior record is actually on that. Let me just have a wee quick check here. Oh, it's actually also the Irish senior record from Conor Ferguson back in 2016, a 1:54.3. So, look, it's still 3 seconds faster, but you never know. You'll want to be down around that anyway. That's a great swim.
He surprised us this weekend anyway, so I don't know what he's capable of now this evening, but did look like he took it out quite hard this morning. But once he's beside Rutherford this evening, it'll be interesting swim to see.
Yeah, it's so different in India, isn't it? When you've got a race beside someone, it changes your whole mindset of the race, doesn't it?
It is, yeah. I know all swimmers come in and really their main competitor is the clock, but it's completely different. Like you were saying about certain swimmers yesterday, they don't like to lose, so it's they give that extra kind of 5 or 10% when it comes to racing beside someone that's quite close to them.
They definitely do. So the majority of swimmers there will be through. They'll all be happy to know. Because of those few pullouts, the majority of them will be back tonight for the C, B and A finals. So moving on to the women's side now, just 3 swimmers in this first heat.
Again, only 4 heats of this event, so quite an empty heat to start off, just our 3 swimmers.
Just the 3, yep. So lane 3, we have Narayan, lane 4, Leah Connell, and lane 5, Sarah Keane. So yeah, similar kind of tactics here. These girls are just going to have to go out, go after it, post a good time. You get in and around your entry time or below. That's all you can really ask for. Swimming is such a time-dominated sport. We're so concerned about the time, naturally. It's what constitutes if we're good or not, or getting better or not, but you've got to take the small wins when you can, enjoy the process of racing. It's such a great venue.
Yeah, like we just said, so I know we were just talking about racing beside one another, but even in these smaller heats when we've only got a couple of swimmers, it is just about getting out there, getting that experience of racing and finding your own tactics when it comes, particularly in a 200-metre event. Everyone swims it differently, so using this experience to their advantage and just finding out what works for them.
Definitely, definitely.
Got a strong start here anyway from lane number 3, Roisin Rian, our Paralympic swimmer. Really, really strong, good head position, keeping that stroke rate nice and high. Say that leg kick will start to come in coming into the last 75, but turning strong on a 108.96.
Yep, nicely. Sort of, this is where you want to kind of pick it up now. Similar to the 200 free last night where we were commentating on. A third 50 is so key. You know, all your body wants to do is begin to switch off because subconsciously you're thinking about that last 50. But this is where you've got to really lay down the gauntlet, kick the legs. These swimmers really, really, really great head position there in the middle lane. Leah Connell of Athlone. Johnny Powell, the coach there.
Yeah, like I said, you can't switch off on back roll. I think that's why I was never really able to do it. I just lost my concentration as soon as I got onto my back, to be honest, David. So,
Yeah.
But the girls are staying strong here. Roisin Rian really keep bringing that leg kick in now. She did kick down hard on the third 50 and she's keeping it going coming into this last turn. Hitting the wall nice and hard, getting that underwater kick and a good transition to start her off on this last 25. I think she's going to smash her time here actually, coming in on a 2:32.75.
Yeah, she's really up on the rate coming into the finish here now. Just to the left of your shot. It's going to be a 2:22. Yep, 2:22.5. Great PB, 10 seconds. Connell on a 2:28.6. And Sarah Keenan at 2:30.5. So great swimming there, girls. So she's finished on her side there, got real length. Finish on backstroke so important. You want to finish on a full stroke, really long, streamlined. Sometimes you even want to glide for a little bit because you are faster when you're in that streamlined position.
So again, your results just gone off screen there, but Roisin Rian with a 10-second PB. And looks like we're going into heat 2 with another empty lane, so it looks like it could be a final for a majority of these swimmers this evening. But there is your lineup coming up on screen now.
Here you go, heat number 2 of 4. And we're away. No false starts, good to see. Walsh is in lane 1. Lane 2 is McInerney of Temple Oak. Lane 3, Katie Kelly. Lane 4, Poppy Mateus in lane 4, sorry. Sophia Quigley is in lane 5 of Ards. Laura Killen, lane 6 from Dolphin. Lucy O'Brien, lane 7. And the 16-year-old from Wexford, Lawless, is in lane 8. So these girls now looking to post a time. Like India said, the majority of them should make it back tonight. But they'll want to make sure of it, especially now this one of the faster heats. So they have a disadvantage that they're not like the last heat, where the last heat can see what times have gone before them. And they can sort of know. Although I was never one India for like looking at heats ahead of me. You know, if I was in the last heat, I wouldn't always go, oh, well, Callum's gone this or Jordan's gone this, so I have to go X.
No, I was the same. I never really looked at previous or last heats. I'd obviously look at teammates, and like I said, I had Sean O'Brien, another butterflyer. He used to compete alongside me in ECD, so definitely looking out for each other's times. But apart from that, no, I just like to swim my own race. And again,
very easy to get caught up on other people, isn't it?
You can,
especially nowadays.
That's sometimes when nerves kick in. But again, some people thrive off that, some people just get nervous off that. So it's very much down to the individual. Got a strong start here from Laura Killen, actually, out in lane 6. Dolphin swimmer. Got Poppy in lane 4 as well. She had a strong 100 metres swim in the B final yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see how she takes back this second 100.
Definitely, yeah. Sort of good spread in the field now. Like India said, it's lane 6. Dolphin swimmer, 19-year-old. Using her experience. Yeah, so difficult to stay under that water at the end. Great turn actually there, lane 7, stayed under really well. The Limerick swimmer, Lucy O'Brien. Tough to stay under, especially when the legs are getting tired. Your head wants to bob even more. Last turn now.
So we had a 2:22.59 from Roisin Rian in the previous heat. think our 3 top swimmers here might just break that time, so looking comfortably to get into a final this evening. But it looks like lane number 2 might just take the touch.
Yeah, good finish.
It
McInerney.
is Holly McInerney, 2:23.23. So it is actually a little bit slower than that previous heat, but still a good time for those 3 top swimmers coming in.
Yeah, they'll all be back tonight, so they'll speak to their coaches. Look at what went wrong, what went right. Good finish there, spotted the wall well, the 14-year-old, and the changes they need to make for tonight. So great to have this YouTube live stream. They can just look back, straight after their race pretty much. They can look back and just at their race and go, because you know yourself, India, when you do the race, you may think I've done A right, I've done B wrong, but then when you actually look at it, you're like, oh wow, I actually did C or D wrong and did A and B right.
Yeah, it's a completely different perspective, obviously. So you have your coach up in the stands most likely, and they're going to tell you what they feel like you did well and you didn't do well. Sometimes it's a different feeling for you in the water, so it is nice that you have something to look back on. But it's also nice for any, again, young swimmers out there right now that haven't maybe qualified for the Winter Championships here, and they're just looking to see how they can improve their technique. Again, like we said, no swimmer is the same, but they might find a swimmer here that has a similar style of swimming and is just that little bit faster, so they can pick up tips and tricks.
Definitely. Heat 3 of 4. Okay, full field here. Lane 0, we've got Bailey of New Ross. Lane 1, Humphreys of Larne. Lane 2, Russell, Ballymena. Lane 3, Bailey of New Ross. Lane 4, Aoife Doran, the 16-year-old from Aer Lingus. Lane number 5, the Maltese swimmer, Baldarashi, 16-year-old. Lane 6, Shannon Byrne. Lane 7, Sec of Sunday's Well. McLean is in lane 8 of Derry, and lane 9 is the Dolphin swimmer, Heather Fain. So full field here, great to see, no pullouts.
Yeah, we've got a big drop in time here coming in with our heat swim. So last heat, our entry times around a 2:24, 2:25. We're dropping right down to a 2:19 for those 3 middle swimmers of New Ross, Aer Lingus, and our Malta swimmer. So they're looking to break that 2:19. We're looking for them to go out probably on a 1:06 or a 1:07. But it is looking very strong for that swimmer in lane 5, the Maltese swimmer, looking really strong.
Yeah, really got nice stroke. Keeping the arms real close to your head as the arm recovers. You want to keep it right by your cheek. I remember training with a great backstroker in Loughborough University, and he had really hard stubble on his beard. And when he would come out of his session, his shoulders would be red raw because his shoulder would be so tight to his cheek, it would be rubbing and scraping on the stubble. So that's what you need to be. You need to be really streamlined, keep it as tight as possible. But it is lane number 5, Baldarashi of Malta.
It is all about that shoulder flexibility though, isn't it, on back roll, all that rotation. That's why you can see a lot of injuries pop in actually on back roll. You can see a lot of rotator cuff injuries, you can see
You're
a
so
lot
exposed, aren't you, especially on the pull?
Especially on the pull, yeah. So you do need a lot of flexibility, you do need a lot of strength in that internal and external rotation of the shoulder. So, but you can see here the swimmer is still staying strong with that stroke rate. Maltese swimmer still slightly ahead. We've got that swimmer in lane 3 as well. We've got Leah Beatty of New Ross just catching up. Let's see if she can kick down hard coming into this last 25.
Yeah, I think she will. She's looking good. The rate's a bit higher. Keep the head still. Swimmers are praying for the flags. There they are, girls. Get in. Yeah, good finish. Good finish. Leah Bailey, India called it. 2:19.1. Really strong. That's slight PB for her. She's been under 2:20 before. A good swim for her. Baldarashi hung on there for the second place. 2:19.5.
Yeah, like we said, David, the longer you're in the sport and the more experienced you are, those PBs don't come as naturally as the younger swimmers coming through. So even getting that nearly a full second there actually for the New Ross swimmer, 2:19.1, great heat swim. So that will definitely bring her through to one of the finals this evening.
Yeah, and they can go even faster. Shannon Byrne rounding out the field there, lane number 6. 2:21.3, got the third. Final heat of this women's 200 backstroke before we move on to the splash and dash 50 free.
Some great names coming up here. We've got Maria Godden of NCL coming up in lane 4. We've also got Jenny McDougall. She is the UCD swimmer. She won the 50 backstroke and did very well in that 100 backstroke yesterday too. So be a good race between the swimmers here.
Okay, final heat. Danielle Hill down lane 1. Pack schedule for her. We've got Putney in lane 0, Danielle Hill, like I mentioned, lane 1. Kate Morris in lane 2. Hodgson is 3 from Leeds. Maria Godden, lane 4. Iona Colbert of Nova is 5. Jenna McDougall, lane 6 of UCD. Cora Rooney, lane 7 of Enniskillen. Gubbins of Nova is in lane 8. And Beth Nolan, the 20-year-old from Sunday as well, is in lane 9.
Yeah,
So like you said, India, Jenna McDougall won the 50 backstroke, but going for the 200 here, such a different event, even though it's the same stroke. You know, how could she use her advantages for that speed of that 50 backstroke and take that into this 200?
So for Jenna in particular as a swimmer, she is very strong when it comes to her underwater work. So because we're in a short course pool, she definitely can use that to her advantage. Again, like you said, 50 is a very different event to the 200 metres. 50 is that splash and dash, and 200, you do have to pace yourself a little bit more and really be able to kick down hard on the third 50. So if she can just stay strong, stay smooth, she'll definitely get into a final this evening and just really work on those underwaters. But again, if there's any young swimmers out there, you really do need to look at Maria Godden and Iona Colbert when it comes to their underwater work. They're so strong, so streamlined, and really get that great undulation underneath the water. Yeah,
the leader at the minute, it's Maria Godden. Looking really strong. Such a still head position, look at that.
She does, and her breakouts as well are always timed perfectly.
Yeah, they are. She's coming in. It's not only the underwater kick, like I mentioned earlier, it's about the acceleration into the wall. It's also about came up a bit early there. It's also about the transition, that transition from your underwater kick into your stroke. You've got to get that timing right. You've got to do it just as you're breaking the surface so you don't lose that momentum. If you begin to break out too early, you know, you'll get stuck under the water. There's no worse feeling, but she's just commanding here. Godden.
Yeah, she's coming in on a 2:11.55 and she's just turned on a 1:35, so I feel like she's going to be coming in on a similar enough time, but definitely dominating the field on this fourth and final heat. Finishing strong on a 2:11.30, so slight PB there, again 0.2, but take a win for a win.
Yeah, Godden had her Weetabix this morning. She's ready. 2:11.3, got a lot more tonight.
Was that your race fuel?
That was my race fuel, yeah. I should have taken more of it. Okay, Danielle Hill in third actually there. And second place, Iona Colbert, the Nova swimmer. So the majority of those girls, Jenna McDougall as well, back in a 2:15.9, so she'll be back tonight. The UCD swimmer, expect her to take that out fast, similarly with Danielle Hill. But Godden looks so strong there.
Yeah,
really, really strong.
Definitely dominating these back roll events this weekend.
3.5 seconds clear of the rest of the field. There's your, you can't see it on your screen, but on the main screen here, there's a breakdown of the summary of results. Majority of those girls back for tonight. So big change of event now. The men's 50 free, the splash and dash. Blink and you'll miss it.
This is your event, David.
This is one of my events, yeah.
Any race tactics, or is it just dive in, don't breathe, and hit the wall?
Pretty much, that was it. But it's also don't tense up. You know, 50 free, it's a sprint event, it's a strength event, but it's the most technical event there is. Right, there's no room for error. You've got to stay relaxed, especially those first 6, 7 strokes. Don't tense up. Just feel the water, especially into the turn. It's far harder short course because the turn just ruins your momentum. And here we go, heat 1. Also when they're off. About that rate, those first few strokes, set the stroke and attack that wall. Great rate there. In the middle lane, lane 4. It's Matthew Mohan, Banbridge. And now here it's all about holding the kick, holding the belly button into the spine. Keep the head down, reach. Good swim. 25.0 for him, PB.
Yeah, and again, a big PB for a 50, nearly 0.5 of a second. So definitely take that for a heat swim. Really, really strong.
Yeah, awesome.
We still have our swimmer in lane 8 coming through, Paul Trischler of New Ross.
Yeah, the Paralympic athlete coming in. Now 50 freestyle. He'll be rounding out the field. Oh, Trisha, great swim. Good man.
Great swim there.
Heat 2, we'll fly through these, folks.
I think we're going to hear and see a lot of slapping. You still have the times in the last heat. We'll be changing over now to the start of heat number 2.
Yeah, so.
First swimmer here with a 24. We've got Bangor swimmer, 15-year-old Jean Smith.
Yeah, used to coach Jean Smith at Bangor back in the day. Very promising young talent. Trains under Aaron Rickus at Bangor Swimming Club. So 53, heat 2. So important to nail that breakout. Here we go, great straight arm stroke there. Up in lane 6. Star Morgan. They're all pretty close. It's Jean Smith with a lower stroke rate. Look at that, he's holding so much water. Get the head down now, Jean, get into the wall. Good man. 24.38 for Jean Smith. Dara Morgan, that's lovely straight arm stroke in lane 6. 24.8. Daniel Harvey as well. From lane 1, 24.88.
Yeah, great swim there from Jean, 24.38. Again, another half a second PB, so really strong heat swim from Jean. Again, like you said, it's not just really a splash and dash. They've got so much technical work. So you've got your reaction time, you've got your breakout, you've got your underwater. And again, like you said, in a 50-meter short course, you do get that, you do get slowed down from that turn. So it's trying to nail that transition again, like you said before.
Yeah, this is very different to the long course.
What do you prefer, your short course or your long course 50 front crawl?
Long course. Long course, I always felt that I was only getting into my stroke by the time the turn came around, and I had to turn, and then just struggled to sort of keep that momentum going. We're on to heat 3. These swimmers explode off the block, use the glutes. Tight streamline. We're away, top of the pool.
Only 0.5 deciphering between this heat here. So it's coming in at 24.2. We've got the fastest swimmer here from Malta. We've got Simon Malia. But it looks like lane 7 might take the touch here. Really strong start. And it is, it's lane 7. We've got Adam Candle from Hamilton Swimming Club, 23.71.
23.71, yeah. You had a great start to the 53. If you don't have a solid start, a good start, it's game over. You're never going to beat the rest of the field. You know, you need to have a good start. All these swimmers will be working on their starts a lot. It's something I've worked on more, especially when I was younger. Flying through the heats now, we've obviously got Callum Bain, Tom Fannin coming in these later heats. No Shane Ryan in this one. He's finished for the year after that 50 fly win last night. But on to heat 4. Heat 4 of 6, men's 53. Lots of stamping on the wedge.
Thomas Leggett, definitely one to look out for in this heat number 4. He's been swimming well, the Larne swimmer, 18 years old. Coming in his fastest qualifying time, 23.82. Looks like he's had a strong start.
Yeah, really nice. Good transition there, Tom. And below him as well. Lane number 2. Walsh going well. It is Walsh gets a touch, 22.8. Leggett in a 22.9. They're both under 23 for the first time. That's great swimming. You know, breaking those barriers, getting under to a 22. You know, just sets you up for the next barrier, which will be for them. It'll be the 22 second barrier. Much tougher one to break. That was a great swim. Leggett and Hussey just dove in, had really good transitions. Everything's moving forward, using the inertia, the power. Everything going forward, not side to side, not up and down, just forward, solid. Really, really strong there. 22s, they'll be over the moon.
You know, it's nice to see from the 50 front crawl as well. Is sometimes you can get those outside lanes that really do take the heat because the times are just so close together. So you can't see some people coming through.
Yeah, it's anything goes. Irish senior record obviously there at the top of your screen, 21.35, that is Shane Ryan. in 2021. Here we go. Heat number 5. One more away. Leg kick, keep the leg kick going. You know, if you can, you want to almost try and not breathe. The best sprinters don't breathe for this event. I remember my coach always told me, Dave, it's 22 seconds. Why do you need to breathe? Hold your breath. Here we go. Into the wall, blanket. Who's got it? It's Tabatine. Lane 4, 23.3, so slower than the last one. Very close, though. 23.3, winning it.
Yeah, it's going to be a close final tonight. Like you said, it is down to really trying to take as little breath as possible, but definitely not taking a breath in that last 12 to 15 meters as well. If you're not conditioned to not breathe in a 50 front crawl, you really should be putting your head down from that last red mark. Especially on
at the
main
end.
rope.
Yeah, if you're going to breathe, you know, maybe 15 meters out, and then get that head down. Into the final heat here. The big boys, Callum Bain, Tom Fannin, Dermot Sutton as well, really good sprinter. So watch out for lane 4, Callum Bain, fantastic off the starts. I've said that before. Fantastic 50 freestyler, one of the best this country's ever seen. And Fannin as well next to him, supreme sprinter. At 21.3 is actually his best as well. So watch out for Bain's start and then Fannin's rate. Fannin holding water, Bain looking really strong. Spot the turn, fellas. Coming off the wall, who's got the better transition? Callum looking good. Here comes Fannin, they're cruising a wee bit, the two of them. It's going to be Fannin coming through a wee bit. Who's got the touch? It's Tom Fannin at 21.81, Callum Bain at 21.87. Two of them really clear of the field in every aspect of it. The start, the turn, the rate. Couldn't split them. That's going to be a great one tonight, India, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So we've only had majority of swimmers in the previous heats going 23. We had that one at 22 in heat number 4. But then, like you said, Callum and Tom are just clear of the field. Both of them going at 21.8 there. So it'll be a strong race this evening.
Yeah. Callum Bain, obviously the silver medalist last night from the 50 fly. So that's going to be a great race tonight between them two. Tom Fannin not fully rested for this one. You know, really fast. Long course swimmer as well. He's been a 22.0 long course. So this short course obviously faster because you get that push off the wall in comparison to the long course. Of course, the 50 free, the only one of the 50s that is actually in the Olympic Games. So one of the supreme events. So those two will be back tonight. Looking forward to that one. We're moving on to the women's now. Some great swimmers in this one, India.
We do indeed. We've got 4 heats, and that last heat is going to be very interesting. We've got Hill, we've got Reardon, we've got Davison, we've got Catterson. So really looking forward to heat number 4. But we're starting off here with heat number 1. We've got a full packed out lane, or packed out pool. Fastest qualifying time coming into this, 27.5.
Yeah. So these girls will be looking to cement the time. The majority, there should be A, B, and C finals for this one tonight. So the majority, if there's only 4 heats, the majority of these girls will be looking to get that second swim.
I think with the 50s we only got open finals, so it's only our top 10.
But the 50 free, maybe because it's an Olympic event. Maybe.
Maybe they will go A, B, and C.
Have to check that one. Here we go though. Top of your pool, lane number 6. It's Lexi Dunn of Dolphin. Looks like she's going to get the touch, and she does. Yeah, 27.28. Good swim for her. PB.
Yeah.
Sans just coming in there second. It's so tough in the 50 free to spot that finish. I know these girls make it look so easy, but to spot that finish, your rate is so high. You know, you've got to really be aware. I know India yesterday was talking about, you know your home pool and knowing pools and knowing that if you've swam in, like I swam in this pool a lot, so did India, so I would know exactly when, you know, the wall was coming, but it's so difficult to spot that finish, isn't it?
Yeah, particularly on a 50, like you said, like the smallest thing can change your race. So if you take half a kick or one kick more underneath the water, or your breakout isn't as smooth as it should be, or you don't hit the wall on point, it's going to mess up the rest of your race. So there's very, very minute detail between being happy with your swim and being a little bit disappointed with your swim.
Yeah, definitely. The old coach used to say, if you have a bad start, well, you've got 40 meters to be annoyed about it. Here we go. Heat 2.
Got an open lane there in lane number 6. So Emily Parkins of Nova Centurion not showing up.
Here we go, strong. Start here, the leg kick, super important. Propel. That's the motor behind. If the body's a speedboat, that's the propeller. Here we go, keep the head down. Into the finish, good finish, lane 4. That's feeling. 26.6.
Yeah, great swim there from Rosalie Phelan. She's been having a cracker of a competition as well. She's really jam-packed out her programme, but still looks like she's staying strong. The 17-year-old from Cormorant Swimming Club. And another PB for her, so dropping down from a 27.1 right down to 26.6. So half a second on a 50 front crawl, I'd take it.
Oh yeah, wow. I'd take 0.01 on a 50. So obviously the Irish senior record.
24.44, I think, from Danielle
probably.
Hill.
Yeah, it's Danielle, 24.4. She loves an Irish record. Jenna McDougall in this one, UCD, the 50 backstroke winner. So, trying to transfer some of that fast twitch into this freestyle. Obviously, a very different stroke, very different event, but same sort of energy systems apply. Fast twitch, the ATP system, it's all anaerobic this event. But ultimate heat number 3. Lane number 3 staying under a long time on that one. That's McDougall. Here we go, can't split this one. Usually see less of underwaters in a 53 because you need to get up and get sprinting. Can't call this one, lane 4. Yeah, it's Hodgson, lane 4, 26.3. Molly Nunty, lane 5, 26.5. And McDougall actually got in 3rd there, so 26.6, not bad.
Yeah, I think like you said there, Jenna McDougall probably just staying under a little bit too long on that first 25. She has got strong underwater work, but I think when the rest of the field were already up and sprinting, she was already in their wash, so I think she lost a little bit of ground there.
You got to be careful about that, you know. Even though the underwaters are faster, if you're good at them, doesn't really apply on a 53 because your rate's so high on a 50. It's not the most efficient way to swim, but you know, it is the fastest, and you've only got to do it for 26, 25 seconds. So, yeah, a few different rules apply for the 53. It's about getting from A to B as fast as you can. Some stellar names in this last heat. Victoria Catterson, the 100 and 200 champion of this meet. She's also got the 400 coming later on today. Danielle Hill, Erin Reardon from NCD. Great sprinters in this one. They're off Hill, obviously the record holder. Holds the water really, really well. Just catches it at the front and just pulls down that one plane of motion. Breathing off the turn. Looks like Reardon's got a really high rate. It's Hill or Reardon. Hill chilling out into the finish there, taking the touch 25.3. There's more there tonight from her. Erin Reardon, 25.3. Catterson, 25.8. All those girls back tonight, and they can all go faster into you.
Yeah, it looked like it was quite a comfortable race there, particularly for Danielle and Erin. They do have a high stroke rate, but like you said, their grasp on the water is phenomenal. So look like they're not cruising, but definitely just knowing that they're going to make it comfortably into the final tonight. So multiple swimmers there going 25.3, a few 26 lows as well. So it'll be a good, fast 50-metre front crawl for the women this evening.
Yeah, hopefully see maybe a 24 tonight from one of the girls.
It's always interesting to see a 24, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always good. Into another 50 now. They're spoiling us with the splash and dash events. 50 breaststroke coming up now. Men's 50 breast, some good names in this one.
Do indeed. We've got our Irish senior record holder, 26.35 for this 50-metre breaststroke. Hasn't been broken for a while. It was Alex Murphy back in 2015, actually. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone can get close to that, either in a heat swim or a final swim today.
Yeah, Alex Murphy, with really great talent. Obviously retired now. Still holds the Irish records for the 50 and the 100. He swam at a UCD and the National Centre Dublin as well at the latter stages of his career. European short course medalist as well. So you're dealing with stellar competition to get those Irish records. 50 breaststroke, really strange event in comparison to maybe freestyle or fly or even backstroke as well. You can't sip the water, can you, India? You've got to hold the water. The temptation will be to slip and to rate higher, but if you do that, you'll just end up going backwards.
Yeah, like you said, like I guess it's down to experience, isn't it? If some of these swimmers, they're training really gripping the water, diving into every single stroke, and then once they get up onto the blocks, the jitters kind of kick in and they start to pick that stroke rate up and they start to slip. So it is about just keeping your head cool, knowing what you have been training, and yeah, just keeping that stroke as strong as possible in the 50.
Yeah, it wasn't an event I did personally, so can't really compare, but obviously do a lot of watching internationally of this event. Adam Peaty sort of transformed this stroke of breaststroke. It used to be all about length, you know, and streamline and technique. The breaststroke was always a lot smaller than the other swimmers, especially down the years. You look at Kuzuki Kidajima, the double-double Olympic champion from Athens and Beijing. He was small Japanese. He was 5'9" maybe. And then Peaty came along, you know, with a 150-kilo bench press and sort of changed the stroke to more of a power-dominated stroke, and that's sort of where the sport's going now. Heat 1.
Definitely is a power event, isn't it? Yeah, seeing Adam Peaty, some of his strength and conditioning work, I guess, really shows just how powerful he is as an athlete, and definitely transfers it into the pool. Like we said yesterday, a lot of breaststroke actually comes from that leg drive too. So short catch at the front, really gripping onto the water, and then just driving in through that leg kick.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all about, you know, pace of rate and being able to hold that rate. So it's all well and good if you can spin your arms, but you've got to be able to hold the water. But in this one, it's going to be Jamie Lann, lane 2, 32.5 for him. That's a PB. Great swim from him. Zach Holmes, 33.0. Delaney, the third of a 33.43. That's heat 1 done and dusted. Sorry, no, there's a swimmer at the top of your pool there. The power swimmer coming in.
Yeah, Paul Trishley just coming in from the 50-metre front crawl. So quick turnaround from him, but finishing in now on the last 5 metres.
Yeah, keep the streamline. Touch the pad real hard. Good man, great swim.
There we go, you have your times up on screen there. So Paul Trishley coming in on that 1:12. Nice swim from him. Starting off though with a 32.59 from Jamie Lannan of Enniskillen onto heat number 2.
Yeah, 6 heats here. See, obviously the world record in this is a 24.95. 24.95 for a 50 breaststroke. That's Emre Saki of Turkey. It was broken last year.
Incredible
so
swim, isn't it?
breaststroke is just moving on so fast. But that was Peaty breaking that barrier, showing a higher rate and a higher sort of strength can actually work for breaststroke. It's not just for flying free and backstroke. So a lot of these swimmers trying to emulate that sort of Peaty style of stroke. That sort of whipping fast on the arms. Swimmers in the water. Now you want to get in, spot that turn as well. You want to let that wall not absorb you. You want to touch and be gone. You don't want to stay too long on the wall. And get up. That pull out's so important too.
Yes, we've got a strong swim here coming in on lane 5. We've got Thomas Davey. We've got either swimmer either side taking a strong as well.
Yeah, India called it. Thomas Davey, 32.50, just 2 100ths ahead of David Powell. Beside him. Good swimming, fellas.
All right, so moving swiftly on to heat number 3. Got a full pool here, all 10 lanes taken up.
Yeah, we have Patrick Curley in this one, coming in lane 4.
Yeah, we had Patrick last night swimming well in the 200-metre breaststroke in his B final.
Yeah, he did. He won that, didn't he? Here we go. Notice, swimmers, when you do your start position, you want that front leg on the track start to be as straight as you can to explode up. Really have that muscle ready, primed and ready to explode out into the pool. Here's more of a Peaty stroke in the middle, looking really good. That is curly, isn't it?
That is curly, looking really strong now. Definitely developed a lot of strength in the past year or two over COVID. So yeah, looking really, really strong here coming into this last
chest
10
comes
meters.
right out high. It's almost more of a fly kick, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That wedge kick is definitely turned into more of a fly kick now. 30.70, really nice swim there from Paddy Curley, a second PB.
Lovely. Yeah, that was what I was talking about the Adam Peaty kind of influence. That's sort of like you're bobbing up and down so powerfully it almost looks like fly. It's not, but you're sort of using that momentum of it to sort of get down the pool. You know, you have so many swimmers emulating that now at the top level, even in Ireland here as well. Owen Corby, very similar. You know, Kaminga, a Dutch swimmer, Olympic silver medalist. Oh, they're all emulating it now, so.
I know we were talking about yesterday having races that dust off the cobwebs when you're coming in for a competition.
Oh,
Mine was actually a 50 breaststroke, so I kind of loved the power aspect of it, and just making myself feel good about how I was swimming that weekend.
Yeah. Well, people wouldn't pay to see me swim breaststroke. Okay, on to heat number 4. These guys primed and ready. Hold that streamline as long as you can. If somebody's doing fly kick underwater there the whole way, look at this. Break the rules, he doesn't care. What a psycho. Okay, the rest of them are swimming breaststroke though. He's just doing the underwater kick. What a man. And
there he goes for a breaststroke pull out. Wants to finish on breaststroke.
That I've never seen that.
Never seen that on a 50
Someone tell me you can't do that. Maher. You madman. Maher the madman.
Swam well though, got a PB, 29.4.
Yeah, somebody gonna tell him. Well, the rest of it was good. 29.8 there as well for Alil Sullivan. And from lane 0 too.
Yeah, nice to see another swimmer breaking that 30-second mark. Again, that is another milestone on a 50-meter breaststroke, really trying to break down through that 30-second barrier. So I'm sure that'll be a good swim there for Luke.
That took me by surprise there. I was like, what is he doing? But he should be disqualified now. That'll come up. I think he was probably going for just a 50 underwater or something like that and just fancied, you know what, I'm just going to do breaststroke on the end.
Looks like they're giving him a time though. I can't see any disqualification coming up there.
Well, the referee's not paying attention. I remember racing next to Liam Tancock when I was in Loughborough. Long course 53, he did the whole thing underwater and he beat me. As I was swimming, I was just looking to my left and this guy like a fish underwater. I was like, oh my word.
Quite distracting actually in a race.
Especially when you lose, you're like, oh dear. Yeah, disqualification came up there. So, moving on now to heat number 5. Andrew Feenan, obviously, who was just pipped last night actually. Not 200 breaths for a medal.
Yeah, so we've got 4 swimmers here already breaking that 30-second barrier. So heats will definitely start to pick up on the pace.
A couple of arch swimmers as well. Ben Cardwell, lane 0. Matthew Hand, lane 3. Benji Cummins, lane 6. They all train together under Curtis Coulter and James Hand, Arch Swimming Club. So they all know each other's strengths and weaknesses. But look at this high chest action from the majority of swimmers here. Touch that wall. Don't stay there too long.
Yeah, like we were saying yesterday, they were all just down by the swim down pool this morning, really getting those fast twitch fibers working with all their land work. And it seems to be transferring over into the pool here, particularly for lane number 4, Tom Page. Really strong, 28.87.
Great swimming, 28.87. Matthew Hand, great swim, 28.9. Sure, that's a PB for him, surely. He's having a great meet. Breaking Andrew Breeze, Ulster junior record in the 100 breast on opening night. These boys should all be back tonight. Barring a crazy last heat.
So there are your times there for the previous heat. We have 2 people breaking that 29-second barrier, nice to see, so 28.8 and 28.9. But we're coming into our final heat where we've got Andrew Moore in lane 3, Dara Green in lane 4, and Owen Corby in lane 5.
Stellar names here. Andrew Moore obviously broke 60 seconds for the first time in the 100 breast. This is one of his last events. He's retiring after this.
Oh, it looks like we have an empty lane in lane 4 actually, so no Dara Green this morning for the 50-meter breaststroke.
Dara Green for the 50. So expect this to be a real controlled one for some of these good, especially Corby. Murr, Berryman. Corby, of course, on the form of his life. 2:06.8, just off the Irish senior record last night. I expect these guys just to sort of, that's a great start from Andrew Murr, my word. Leapt out of the box there. Leapt like a salmon, he's out.
Yeah,
He's
look at
taking
that.
0 prisoners.
Look at that power coming in from Andy Moore.
Yeah,
really strong this morning.
This has got to be a huge PB. What a swim. 27.00. That's definitely a PB for him. Great swim.
Really nice swim there from Andy Moore. So he'll be going in fastest into the heat, into the final, this evening. But just looking really strong. And then we had Owen Corby coming in on a 26.65, so half a second behind. But like we said, Owen Corby really on the form of his life at the moment. So can imagine he'll be reducing that time into the final swim this evening.
Yeah, Corby absolutely chilling there. Might be seeing him later this morning, maybe in the medley. But yeah, Murr taking that one. I'd expect there to be a big drop from Corby tonight. Obviously on the form of his life, flying. Great to see him back swimming at his best again.
So we've got a changeover event now. We're going to swap over to the women's 50-metre breaststroke. We've got 5 heats in this event. So starting off with just 3 swimmers in our first heat, 8 in the second, and then we've got full heats for the final 3.
Yep.
Our Irish senior record of 29.59. We've got an interesting final heat. We've got Niamh Coyne, we've got Isabel Kidney, and we've got Ciara Fletcher. All great swimmers there coming up in heat number 5. But let's start off with heat number 1. 3 swimmers, 50-metre breaststroke.
Good start. Wait for the take your marks and spring off the block. Lovely timing there. Lane number 4? Yeah, it is number 4. Hegarty. Lovely sort of purpose to that breaststroke. Whipping the feet, whipping the heels, holding the water. And she's coming to the finish. 35.65. Good swim.
Nice swim there from Evie. Full second PB.
Yep. PB's everywhere we look, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic event, hasn't it, so far? The entire 3 days we've seen PBs pretty much smash the majority of heats.
Yeah. Maybe I should have swum.
Come out of retirement. Gonna get you to do that 200 fly one day, don't worry.
Okay. Really finishes up the field, the Limavady swimmer. And it's 60.9, just off her best. Heat number 2. Coming up.
Again, so that Irish senior record held by Mona McSharry, 29.59, set that back in 2021.
29.5, is it?
29.5, yeah.
29.5, yeah.
Fast
Very
swimming,
quick.
50 breaststroke.
Mona McSharry, obviously the Olympic finalist from Tokyo in the women's 100 breaststroke. Trains out in Tennessee, not participating in this meet. On to heat 2, a few empty lanes in this one. On their way.
So again, the start on a 50-metre breaststroke is crucial. I was chatting to a few coaches about it earlier on today. And again, just kind of those nerves, I guess, kick in. All of these swimmers, they should dive off the block, really get as much power, gripping the water, so pulling the arms out kind of just to that shoulder width, and then ripping the water down past their hips. So if they start that pull out a little bit too soon, they're not going to grab the water as efficiently as they can. But got an even field here, don't we, David? Coming in for our second heat.
Lane 8, Holly Clifford, outside smoke. 35.1. Yeah, just had a great start, just top lane there, and just good to see a great smile there from lane 7 as well. That's Erin Fogarty. Happy with that one. Great to see girls smiling after the races.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, especially if they don't make the final. It's great that they're getting that good swim in their heat. All right, on to heat number 3. Again, we've got a full packed out lanes on this heat. 10 swimmers, bringing the time down to a 35 as the fastest, 35.32 as the fastest qualifier into this heat.
Yeah, of course, for a lot of these swimmers now, this is the last day of short course racing until next year, before it switches to the long course focus for the Irish Open Championships in April. We're away, great shot there. We have a great view up here. We can sort of see, great vantage point to see the sort of differences in strokes, the differences in skills. But this one actually, it looks like bottom lane.
Yeah, Hannah McMaster coming in really strong. She's have a fantastic event as well this weekend.
Yeah, bottom of your screen. Trains at Curtis Coulter and Ards. Just holding that stroke really well. Drive the head forward.
I think Rena McCormick, though, 15-year-old from Longford, really taking it strong in this second 25.
Yeah, 34.9. India called it. McCormick, McMaster faded a bit at the end there, but took it out well. It's all about getting your hand on the wall, though. It's a really close finish, that, actually. You see some of those swimmers finishing almost on a half stroke. 50 breast is hard because you have to nail that finish. Touch with 2 hands on a full long stroke. Freestyle a bit easier. You can kind of worm your way, sort of shorten one stroke or shorten the other just to finish on a full stroke. But breaststroke and fly, you've got to get it right.
The results there up on screen. Coming in to heat number 4 of 5. Again, so we've got some good names coming in. We've got Amy Noble, strong swimmer this weekend, in lane number 3. Ellie Campbell in lane number 4. And again, Chloe Daybell, very strong swims from her this weekend. She's coming in lane number 5, the Nova Centurion swimmer.
Here we go. Okay, penultimate heat. Women's 50 breast. Obviously just the open finals tonight, just the one final for each event. So these swimmers are going to have to go for it to get back. So I suppose that's more of a positive that there's no A, B, and C finals for this event, because you have to swim fast in the morning. You have to go for it in the morning. It teaches these swimmers that when they go to international competitions, they have to step up in the morning. Okay, that was close. It was Ellie Campbell, lane 4, 34.22. The 15-year-old from Trojan. Just outside her best, actually.
Yeah, strong swim there from heat number 4. But it's coming into heat number 5 now that we're going to look at some strong names again. So Isabel Kidney, Niamh Coyne, Ciara Fletcher. We've got swimmers really breaking down from that 34 right down to a 31.74 as our fastest qualifying time. That is Niamh Coyne, NCD swimmer, 21 years of age.
Yeah, Niamh Coyne, the National Centre Dublin swimmer, was just at altitude there. Coach Steve Beggerleg. So they'll be everything usually for these swimmers. They'll all be focusing on the long course season, and this is more just a tune-up. You know, get some good swims, get confident for the long course season. So Niamh having a decent meet. Last heat. In they go, Niamh Coyne. Very experienced, even though she's only 21. Taking this one out. All these swimmers, like I said, going to have to go for it to get back. Tonight. Niamh Coyne, great underwater pull out there. Keep the head still, drive it through between the hands. She's looking strong also below her. In lane number 2.
Jade from Hamilton, really strong.
Yeah, it's Coyne.
It is Niamh Coyne, 31.74, equaling the time that she's come in on for our heat swim.
Equaling it, yeah. She couldn't do that if she tried. Good swim, girls. Should all be back tonight. Comfortably.
I think we have our 2 clear lead swimmers coming into the final tonight. So Niamh Coyne and Jade from Hamilton Swimming Club, both coming in on a 31. Really strong swims there from everyone in the 50-metre breaststroke. We saw lots of PBs. Transferring over now to our next heat, event 33, we have got the men's 100-metre butterfly. All right, so 4 lengths of the pool now. 100-meter butterfly, again, another sprint event. One of my favorites. Don't know about you, David. Do you ever seen I know your 50-meter front row is yours, but do you like some in the 100 fly at all?
No, 100 fly, couldn't do 100 fly. Could do the 50 because I didn't have to breathe. I could just keep my head down and spin and pray. Nope. But the 100, no, as soon as I had to breathe, it was just game over. So I was just 50 free, 100 free, that was me. 100 fly, no, wasn't. I love watching the 100 fly short course. I think it's fascinating to see how the underwaters are so different to long course, and the better swimmers, the underwater swimmers, you can really tell, especially on the 100 bag, I think, and the 100 fly short course.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, kind of for the other 100-meter races that have come up this weekend, it's not about any sort of race tactics here. It's literally about kind of going out in that first 50, 95% effort, nice hard swim, but just trying to stay as relaxed as possible, and then turning, keeping that underwater work really strong, and then nailing that second 50.
Yeah, it's like India said, spotting those turns, obviously no room for error because you're touching with two hands. You've got Barry McClemens top of your screen. Paralympian from Tokyo, also Commonwealth Games medalist, Northern Ireland's first ever Commonwealth Games medalist in the swimming pool, so bit of a legend in Northern Irish swimming, but it's the other three taking it out here. Keeping that chin really close to their chest, aren't they, India?
Yeah, that's what you're looking for pretty much on a fly event, is that you're looking to pretty much just skim the surface of the water with your chin as you're going up for your breath, particularly if you are breathing to the front. We'll have a small percentage of swimmers breathing to the side, but just trying to keep the chest as low as possible. Least amount of drag coming from that, coming from the shoulders, coming from the chest. Got some great drives in the chest here, really getting that underwater kick in, getting that undulation in. But I think we've got our clear winner here, just taking the lead in lane number 5.
Yeah, it's Rizinchenko.
Nice swim, 101.18.
Yeah, lovely swim.
Breaking his time by 0.5 of a second.
Yeah, so 100 fly always looks like a tough one. You know, it's a great one to watch. So the Irish senior record holder is Shane Ryan. He owns a few, doesn't he?
He does, like you say, he likes the record.
He loves the record. He's like Danielle Hill, 50.5. That might have actually been done at the ISL, the International Swimming League. He's part of the Toronto team there. So moving on, there's only 4 heats here, so we're going to have to begin to get a move on. If we want to get back to the A final. A lot of these swimmers actually sub-60 entry time, so expect to see a lot of sub-60s here. Good dive there, closest to us, lane 1. Audie Nichols, lovely leap off the block.
Look at that arm length on him as well. In that,
yeah, a bit of a long turn there though. Here we go, middle lane actually, coming into his own.
That's lane number 5, Michael Keogh of Ternier, really strong swimmer here.
Yeah, he's out at 26.3, so he's set up this race really nicely. You know, the fly, 100 fly, just set up your race, that first 50. For anybody watching at home who's swam butterfly, knows how hard it is and how quickly you can get tired. So if you don't control your energy, especially in the first 50, you will pay for it in the back half. Really long turn there from Tenure. He lost a lot of, the swimmer from Tenure, sorry, lost a lot of time. But he's hung on well. Long finish again.
Strong swim though, 57.93 from Michael Keogh of Ternier. So bringing his time down by over a second.
Michael Keogh, you can go faster. That last turn and that finish, he knows, he's shaking his head. That's good. Shows you've got improvements to make.
Yeah, but like you said, David, it really is about trying to conserve your energy as much as you can throughout the race, especially kind of, again, keeping the first 50 nice and hard, 95% effort, but staying relaxed. So you'll see different breathing patterns amongst all of the swimmers here. Some swimmers like to breathe every 1 stroke, some breathing every 2, and some breathing every 3 on the 100 fly. But again, just coming in on that last 25, everyone trying to put their head down in the last 10 meters and just hit the wall spot on.
Yeah. What was your breathing pattern? Every 2, every 1?
So for the 100, it was breathe every 3. For the 200, breathe every 2, and then 50 fly, put your head down and don't breathe. Yeah.
Pray. Put your head down and pray. Okay, on to penultimate heat. Heat 3 of 4. Nobody in the, no Cody Dunyan. So here we go. Spot those turns, you know, from up here in the stream as well, you can really see the swimmers that spot the turns well. Because it'll kill your momentum if you glide into that turn. Really will. India knows that more than anyone on the 100 fly.
Yeah, again, it is about just getting your stroke count right on every single 25, particularly in the 25-meter pool. So it is about a lot of practice about nailing your underwaters, knowing how many kick you're doing underwater, knowing when you're breaking out, getting that transition right, and then just knowing how many strokes it does to take you to get down to the end of the pool. Like on back row, you've got the flags to let you know when you're 5 meters out, but on front crawl, on fly, and on breaststroke, it should just be down to your stroke count, knowing that experience from racing.
Yeah, it's the Hamilton swimmers here, though. Teammates Ethan Thompson, 56.1, and Adam Candle in a 56.2. Swam pretty much the same race. They swim together every day, so they'll know exactly what each other's strengths and weaknesses are. They actually used to, I remember reading years ago, when Ryan Lochte and Michael Phelps were at the peak racing each other, when they used to go away on training camps with the American squad, they wouldn't train together. They wouldn't be allowed to race each other in training because one was afraid that one would learn something about the other and they didn't want to give anything away because they were so close on 200 medley, 400 medley, you know, 200 free. They actually swam at separate times.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Times, yeah, because they were like, I'm not giving him anything. So, you know, those swimmers will know exactly what the other one is good at, what he's bad at. Because when you spend so many hours in the pool training with your teammates, you learn a lot.
Absolutely, like we said before, swimming is a very individual sport, but you do learn so much from your team, don't you? So just training with extra people, particularly those if they are similar strokes to you, it's nice to have a teammate like that. But coming into the final heat now of our 100-meter fly, we've got Evan Bailey lane 4, Jack Casson lane 5, and Charlie Eatwell in lane 3.
Yeah, some great swimmers here, some great young prospects as well. Jack Casson, obviously that Irish junior record last night in the 400 medley. And Evan Bailey, a really strong 100 free 49.0 on opening night. Here we go, really nice long stroke there in the middle. I like that. From lane 4, Evan Bailey. He's really smooth out to 25.1. Casson closely following him. Eatwell as well, hanging with them. Yeah, Bailey just sort of chucking that head forward. Great turn, chucking that head forward. Just, you know, letting the body do the work. Throw all your energy forwards. Great turn, wasn't it? Here we go, coming into the finish now. His entry time was 53.7. He'll be in and around that. Yeah, small PB, 53.5. Great swim. He's got more too. He really took that out easy.
Yeah, like you said, David, just really hitting the walls on spot on each time, Evan Bailey there. And his underwater work nearly coming up a body length ahead off that second turn. So just gaining that distance on everyone else, getting out into the clear water and just staying strong with the stroke.
Yeah. There's your summary of results.
Yeah, well clear there, Evan Bailey.
Yeah, Evan Bailey, I'm not sure if he's still a junior. He probably is still a junior, actually. That could be an Irish junior record. So we've got Jack Casson in second there, and Eatwell in third. Moving on to the women's event now, similar sort of things to look out for. Spotting the turns, not decelerating especially, not gliding, especially in that last turn because you're tired, you know, but you've got to focus on that last turn, spotting the wall, making sure you don't lose any of that momentum. Because you don't have a tumble turn, it's that touch turn, obviously on butterfly, just the 4 lengths. Very different to the long course.
So we've got 5 heats coming up now in the women's 100 fly. So just 3 swimmers in the first heat. And then in that 5th heat, we've got Molly Main going in as the fastest qualifier in a 1:00.75. Again, she's on form this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if she breaks the minute here on the 100-meter fly. Alongside her, you've got Ellie McCartney and you've got Connie Phillips.
No, people are clapping. We missed that one.
Difficult enough to hear that microphone, isn't it, from up here, David?
Yeah, it's a bit tinny, isn't it? Great facility here, great shot there at the swimmers, the podium, the diving. Facilities at the back of the centre there. But moving on to the women's, the first heat, 100 fly. Ellen Keane here, lane 5, the Irish Paralympic gold medalist. Good to see her racing.
Yeah, it's great to see her back in the pool again. She seems to be on form again this weekend. She's always just a happy face around the pool though as well. She's really happy to just to chat to other swimmers. Great to have her back in the pool.
Was she on that dancing with dance show?
She was Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, yeah.
She did very well actually in the Dancing with the Stars.
Good on her. I usually need a few pints in me before I dance. Never mind doing it in front of TV. But here we go, lane 4. It's Ruby Carney taking it out. She's got an entry time of 109.53. So she'll be looking to get in around that, if not lower. She's really attacking this well. That timing as well of the kick, you want to have a fly kick as your hand enters the water, and just as your hands are coming out recovering, you want to have another fly kick to sort of propel you forwards. 108.2, yeah. Great swim, PB.
Yeah, great swim there from Ruby Carney.
Keane and Sheridan coming in. Looks like it's going to be Keane. Long finish, Ellen. 116.6 for her. Those two swimmers a wee bit Keane a bit outside her best, but that's expected.
So again, moving on to Heat 2, we will have the A, B and C finals for this evening. So 5 heats. We'll get majority of these swimmers getting back in for a second swim. Got our fastest qualifying time in this heat of 107.05. So looking to split that first 50 around a 31 or a 32. They can take it a little bit faster. Hopefully they can break that 107 mark.
Yeah, for sure. Just the 5 heats here. This women's 100 fly. We'll get a lot of swimmers that swam in that women's 200 fly as well. All those Nova swimmers that took gold, silver and bronze in the 200 fly, they'll more than likely be in this one in the later heats. But here we go for heat 2.
Got an empty lane here in lane number 2. But a strong start. Good takeoff from majority of the swimmers here, getting straight into their breathing pattern. That's what they'll be looking for on the first 25. There's no point keeping your head down for that first 25 and trying to get into the clear water. You need to establish that breathing pattern from the start. Like Dave was talking about earlier, there's no point gassing yourself. Fly event is a little bit different to other events. You want to keep as much oxygen as you can, coming out around 95% effort in that first 50, turning and then kicking down hard going into that third 25.
So it's Hannah Poynton, 30.1 leading it out. Higher rate than the others.
14-year-old from Trojan Swimming Club. Again, she's been having a great start to her competition this weekend. Really showing some talent here. Again, just at 14 years of age. Taking it on a 30.1. Let's see if she can hold it strong. Should be able to break that 107.0 PB that she's coming on. Looking like she's tying up just a little bit coming into these last couple of strokes. Put her head down. Final few. Finishing strong though in a 105.61, so great PB there for the 14-year-old from Trojan.
14 years of age, that's excellent. The Trojan swimmer. Their coach should be very happy with that. Great experience for 14 years of age to be here, racing against the best the country has to offer. Great swim. On to the heat 3 though. There's a summary of results. Bit of a spread in the field there, 105 down to a 112. Expect that as the later heats come, that gap to close. Obviously the A, B and C finals tonight in this event, on this last day of this Irish Winter National Championships. Last short course opportunity. Majority of these swimmers will then go on, have a break up to Christmas. Maybe do a few sessions here or there. enjoy Christmas, and then get back at it. Usually sometimes before the new year, a lot of swimmers, especially the performance swimmers, will go away, maybe on a training camp. I know I went on a few over New Year, you know, to really get ahead of the field, get training ready for that long course season.
Yeah, I remember a couple of coaches that I had in the past used to like to call from the 26th of December onwards, they'd call it Hell Week. So you'd get straight back into training, get straight back into some getting some mileage onto the arms, switching into that long course season. Hell Week, because
I wouldn't show up. Yeah, but it's so important though. Get a jump on the field, get training. You know, your competition might be taking it off. You want to be in training. But here we go, heat 3.
So not that much separating the field here. So we've got just 0.8 of a second separating all 10 swimmers in this third heat. So again, 106 is the entry time, looking to turn on about a 30 or 31 if they want to be breaking that 106 mark. Got a strong start from lane number 4. That is Michaela Portelli, again from Malta. So she's just come out from a race, but still looking strong coming into this first 50 metres. Breathing every single stroke, so very Michael Phelps style swimming here.
Yeah, notice that. Long on the turn there. Don't want to hang along too long on the turn, Michaela. Top of your screen though.
I think lane 7, Eva Bailey from New Ross is just taking the lead here, really kicking down hard on that third 25.
She's looking really good. Bringing it home, breathing every stroke as well. Oh, don't put her head down there. Just get into your rhythm and then get your head down. And it's not right, especially the last 5. Don't be breathing the last 5.
Yeah, don't be breathing, just put the head down and hit the wall on point.
Okay, but don't breathe in the last 3 strokes. Still got the touch. You can be a lot faster than that.
106.20 though, so about 0.5 of a second there for the 15-year-old from New Ross. But yeah, like you said, David, she definitely could be taking off a little bit of time there.
Oh yeah, she'd be a 105 mid.
Yeah, popping the head down that last 10 metres and just really aiming for the wall.
Definitely be a 105 mid. Breathe on the last 3 strokes. I know you need oxygen, Eva, but you'll hang on, you'll be okay. Okay, only 2 more heats to go.
Coming into heat number 4, we've got Jade Kershaw in lane number 5. She's been swimming solidly all morning, so she's only just coming out of a race. Let's see if she has recovered, and she can take this swim out strong. But again, in lane number 4, we've got Grace Conroy, 17-year-old from Lisburn Swimming Club, going in fastest qualifier in a 104.17.
There's your lineup there, just disappeared. Here we go, we've got Mulhall lane 0, Wigley lane 1, McCaberry lane 2, Jameson lane 3, Conroy lane 4, Cusher lane 5, O'Shea lane 6, 7's McGrath, Whittenham Coyle or 8 and 9. Here we go, very close. These swimmers all looking to make finals tonight. I'm sure their parents would love that. Stay here at 8 p.m. tonight.
Strong start there from Grace Conroy, turning it in on a 29.76. Again, her entry time of a 104, so she's going to really need to kick down hard on this third 25 if she wants to be looking for a PB in this heat swim.
You've almost got to let the head lead in there, don't you, and fly? Chuck the head forward, use the head as momentum to sort of get the timing right.
Yeah, so it's all about chucking the head forward and actually leading with that baby finger as well. You'll see a lot of people leading with their thumb, which is actually taking some of that that momentum as well, coming from the hands, coming from the shoulders. So, but again, 104.16 coming in for Grace Conroy. So 1/100th of a second PB for her heat swim.
Take it.
I'll take it as well.
Good swim, yeah. Let's see how's the finish. Wee bit short, but not the worst. You almost want to finish that stroke and then have a slight little glide, just taking your momentum in.
Yeah, especially with that double kick like you were talking about before, you've got that the end of that last kick coming in.
A bit more propulsion, don't you?
Yeah, so you might as well just go in for that short glide at the end because you have that final kick just to get you into the wall.
Okay, flying through this morning. Time flies when you're having fun.
A-team here on the mics.
Okay, some good swimmers here. Molly Main with that fantastic 200 breaststroke last night. Her skills are phenomenal. See if they're transferable though onto the fly. And they're away. Last heat, here we go. McCartney above her. Connie Phillips below Molly Main. From Nova, the 16-year-old. So this will be a tight one. McCartney more of a breaststroker, but given a few other events a go, like India said, it's good to do other events just to take the pressure off. There's no emotional attachment. You sometimes, well, no, not sometimes, you always swim your best when there's less emotional attachment to the outcome. But it is Molly Main as expected here. 28-2, leading it out.
Yeah, again, we know from Molly that she's just got these strong underwaters, isn't she? So she's really taking it out hard here. Turning though, we've got a pretty even level field going into the final 25, but again, Molly taking that underwater just that little bit further, coming about shoulder length ahead of her competitors. I think she's going to take this strong in around a minute's time.
Cruising into the finish.
Yeah,
short,
there we go.
Short enough finish. 60.05. McCartney in a 60.6. Connie Phillips 60.8. So they'll all be looking to go under tonight. Molly Main would have gone under if that finish wasn't so. Yeah, that's a short one, that. She knows it.
Yeah, nice to see 3 swimmers there go 60 points. I think that all 3 of them have a little bit more in the tank for this evening's final, so hopefully we'll see a couple of swimmers going below that 60-second mark in the final.
Obviously the Irish senior record is held by Ellen Walsh. It's actually on your screen there, it says it's a 58.5. It's actually a 56.8 set this time last year. And Ellen Walsh opting to not swim this one. That rounds out our 100 fly for men and women. Moving on now to the men's 200 meter medley. So we obviously had that phenomenal swim last night in the 400 medley from visiting swimmer Mark Sharanek. Trains out in Florida Gators at 4:01, that world-class time, the 3rd fastest time in the world this year. So phenomenal world-class swim. Great to see that over here at the Irish Winter National Championships. But just the 3 heats here of this men's 200 medley. Mark Sharanek will be going that in 2 heats time. Expect big things from him. But here we go. So in lane 0, we've got Joe Greaves, lane 1. Ricky Fain, lane 2, Aidan Mallet, lane 3, Matthew Moan, the Banbridge swimmer. Alfie Coogan is in lane 4. Gene Smith, we spoke about him earlier, from Bangor, the 15-year-old. McAleer is 6. David Leggett, lane 7, and Ben Merrigan from Dolphin is in lane 8.
So similar enough to our other IM events, so we've got 4 different strokes. So starting off with the fly, turning onto the back, moving onto the breaststroke, and then finishing off strong with the front crawl. So taking it out again nice and strong with the 50-meter fly. We want to see a nice technique coming into the 50-meter back roll. Again, attacking the walls on every turn if they have that technique, if they have that technical work down. Keeping the head position nice and strong, but it is the breaststroke leg that you're going to see the change in playing fields when it comes to an IM event. So whoever has got the strongest breaststroke leg and maintain that power going through into the front crawl is where you're going to see your lead swimmers coming through.
Yeah, 100% right, India. It's Aidan Mallet from lane 2 leading it out in a 104.4. The middle swimmer there, the UCD swimmer Coogan, had a phenomenal back-to-breast turn. There's IM, and it's funny, we've had the 100 medley, which is a pure sprint, tactically all over the place. And we've had a 400 IM last night that's very, very aerobic based. And this is a mash of the 2, so still probably more of a sprint than you think. Still don't have that much time to set your stroke. But definitely the 200 medley is who is the most all-rounded swimmer in the pool. Who can swim all 4 strokes efficiently, who's got the sprint, who's got the endurance. Tough event to train for. These guys are all very tough. But it is Coogan enjoying this one. His entry time, 2:16.6. He's really going to his legs there. He wants another swim tonight. He's taking no prisoners.
Yeah, looks like he's going to finish just around his PB mark here. Strong swim, 2:17.10, so slightly above his entry time, just 0.5 of a second. But strong swim. We do only have 3 heats of this men's 200 meters IM, so pretty much guaranteed an A, B, or C final for majority of the swimmers here.
Yeah, they are. So you might see a few swimmers actually just taking it a bit easier because they're sort of guaranteed that spot tonight. Moving on to the second heat. Got a few swimmers in here. Getting ready to go. Interesting way to approach this, you know. A fly has to almost be really easy. Almost you got to feel like you're just catching the water. You know, you're not expending any energy. You just let it flow. I mean, you want to begin to sort of pick it up on the backstroke, go to the legs slightly at the end, nail that back to breast turn, and then from there you just have to go. So full house here. Matthew Hamilton is in lane 0 from Lisburn. McEwen in lane 1 from Banbridge. Mulhall lane 2, Trojan. Mulholland 3, Lisburn. Walsh 19, Swim Belfast. Lane number 5 is Pfeiffer from Bluefin. Lane number 6 is Cormac Wren from Trident. Cody Dunyon's in lane 7. His teammate Benji Cummins is next to him in 8. And it's Karsodi Naji of New Ross in lane 9. He's leading it out, outside smoke. But now this backstroke is where you've got to settle into your rhythm, isn't it, India?
It is, yeah. So Shrody Nagy taking it out nice and strong there in a 27. But again, settling into your stroke rate. Like we said, it's been different with our 100 IM, kind of that splash and dash, and the 400 IM where you can really settle into your stroke. The 200 IM is a little bit different. You're probably only just about settling into your stroke on that second 25 before you do have to change it over. So just staying strong, staying relaxed as much as possible in this 50-meter backstroke. Getting that good turn though, so coming onto the flip turn from our 50 back into our 50-meter breaststroke, and then just getting that power into your 50-meter breaststroke. But we've got our outside swimmer here, I think lane number 7, swimming well. Cody Dunyon, the 18-year-old from Ards, really taking it out strong and holding on to his lead in this 50-meter breaststroke.
Yeah, I'm loving how Cody's looking here. Took that out really well. That's a lovely breaststroke. That's really came on. He'll take a lot of confidence from this.
Yeah, it looks like he's really going for a time here. So let's just spot the wall. Yeah, nice spot there. Turning strong onto the 50-meter front crawl. Turning on a 1:36.74. His entry time of a 2:14.64. So if he can just keep this leg kick up and get a strong turn onto his last 25, we should be looking to break that 2:14.
Yeah, Cody, a phenomenal sprint freestyler as well. 50.2 in the 100 in this meet. I know he's annoyed not to go at 49, but he's looking fantastic here. Keeping that leg kick up, that sort of loping stroke.
Looks
he's
like
coming in.
Smash his time here,
Smash
actually.
that. 2:07.10. That's a great swim, Cody. Coach Coulter will be over the moon with that one.
7-second PB for him there. He didn't really look like he had a stroke that he fell down on, to be honest. He took out the 50 fly, nice and strong, 50 back. His head position was great, taking it long, strong. Then a really good turn onto that breaststroke and just kept his lead. So amazing swim there from Cody Dunyon, 18-year-old from Ards.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Great to see. Swimmers dropping so much time, but into this last heat now. Some stellar names, obviously. Shranick. Coming up, there's your summary of results. Dunyon, clear leader in a 2:07. Shranick in this one, Caden McCarthy, Matthew Hand, Owen Corby as well, the breaststroke phenom, and also the 100 medley winner. So we've got the 100 IM winner here against the 400 IM winner. In this one, the 200 medley, 2 lengths of each of the strokes, starting off with fly. And in they go. Cook, lane 0, Limerick, lane 1, Hanson Sleeper, lane 2, Matthew Hand, Kid McCarthy is 3, Shranick 4, Corby 5, Billy in lane 6, Thomas Waring of Malta, lane 7, Kilcoyne 8, and Chilcott is 9. And my word, India, Shranick just decides, you know what, I'm just going to take this race by the scruff of the neck. See you all later.
Yeah, he just went straight into it. And again, let's just have a look at that underwater work. So again, any young swimmers watching this live right now, really taking as much as you can from Shranick's swim. Absolutely incredible, really strong on all 4 strokes, hitting the wall perfectly every time. And yeah, like you said, David, he really just wants to come in and just show I'm dominating this 200 IM.
Yeah, obviously trains out with Florida Gators. Stellar program, producing great medley swimmers over the years. There'll be Ryan Lochte. One of the greatest medley swimmers of all time, the world record holder in this event, long course, Ryan Lochte, in a 1:54.0. Ceronic just kind of taking this one a bit easier. You know, he's saving himself for tonight. He knows he'll be back. His best is a 1:53 in this one, so considerably under the Irish senior record, set by Brendan Highland at a 1:56. So Ceronic PB'd last night in the 400 medley, so expect fireworks tonight from him.
It definitely looks like he's just taking it out a little bit easier here for this 200 IM. He's got Corby coming in beside him now in lane number 5, so just 0.2 of a second separating the two Limerick represented swimmers. Turning strong onto this 50-metre front crawl. Again, Ceronic just taking it nice and relaxed.
Yeah, the two of them just chilling. They're sort of eyeballing each other. Look at that turn though. And McCarthy coming up behind them as well, the Limerick swimmer. Yeah, it's as easy as you'll see. Going to be a 2:02-ish, 2:03. Yeah, 2:02.9. Ceronic, you'll never see an easier 2:02.9 in your life. Corby, 2:03.99. So all these boys are going to be considerably faster tonight.
Yeah, like we said, it's only 3 heats of that 200 IM, so there's no point wasting too much energy for the lads in this heat swim. You can still see they were working on certain points, so they're definitely working on their underwaters, but then just kind of cruising in the 2 centre lanes there from Ceronic and Corby. So great swims in there. You have your results up on screen.
Yeah. So yeah, also a great swim there from Matthew Hand, the Ard swimmer. 2:05. He's made it back into the final in 4th or 5th place. That'll be Bailey as well, the young prodigy. And Dunyan from the last heat will make that into that A final. That's fantastic to see all those young swimmers making the A final. On now to the girls. There's 6 heats of this. The girls prefer the medley to the boys. 6 heats of the women's 200 medley. That Irish senior record there of 2:11. Let me double check. Actually 2:08. I don't know what that screen's saying. 2:08.6 is Ellen Walsh. Of course it is. From last year. So
again, another one that loves a record.
Yeah.
We're starting off with heat number 1. We just have 3 swimmers in this heat. So going in with the 2:33.44 is Alicia Dempsey of Lurgan Swimming. Again, just a young 14-year-old here. So great experience for her. Starting off the 50 metres, fly, nice high stroke right here. So let's just hope she can keep this going for the next 150 metres.
Yeah. Always hard just when there's 2 of you swimming. Out in front. See the power swimmer behind them. Obviously in 3 it's Brady, in 4 it's Dempsey, and in 5 Jane Ryan, the 14-year-old from Athlone. These two should just sort of swim off each other. Kind of get a feeling. They'll know what their strengths and weaknesses are themselves. Like we said, usually the breaststroke is the hard one. But they'll just be looking to get a good, solid swim here on the last day. 200 medley was an event I didn't do too much when I was younger. Tough event, very tough. Did you do much of it, India?
200 IM, I would race it, probably just kind of club galas, maybe provincial galas. Again, like you said, just dusting off the cobwebs, just seeing how you're swimming. It is a very tough event.
That's a painful way to dust off the cobwebs, though, isn't it? Jeez.
very grueling event. But yeah, my old head coach, Bill McCarthy, used to kind of like to chuck you in to different events every now and again, just to let you experience different events, let you know how certain events feel. So some events you'd be swimming 50 fly and 50 free, some events you'd be swimming 200 IM and 800 free, just to experience them. So
yeah, just experience all the events, mix it up. Yeah. But the breaststroke here, lane 5, Jane Ryan. Clearly, I was talking about strengths and weaknesses. Well, her strength is the breaststroke. Look at that, taking about 10 meters there. One of her fellow swimmer in lane 4, Dempsey from Lurgan.
Yeah, so turning on a 1:58.40, so she needs to be coming back on about a 35 for this 50-meter front crawl if she wants to be breaking that PB this morning.
Keep those, yeah, 100%. Keep those legs going at the front. Should be seeing the finish now. That last turn, no more turns now. Just keep the leg kick going. Turn that leg kick into a 6-speed kick.
Good, and finishing strong,
coming to finish really well, yeah. 2:35.48 for Jane Ryan. Just outside her best. Dempsey coming in will also just be outside her best.
Again, like you said, it is quite a grueling event, isn't it? Packing all these swims into 3 days. I'm sure these girls have tried to experience as much racing as they possibly can in the 3 days. So what would you personally prefer? Is it a 3-day meet? Is it a 5-day meet? I think I'd prefer mine more spaced out, to be honest.
Yeah, more spaced out. I mean, I only ever did the 2 or 3 events, so they were always on different days sort of anyway, but I always loved when it was if it's a 5-day meet, you might have a wee day off in the middle or something to sort of recover even more. So
just come in and experience the atmosphere of the racing.
I think a 3-day meet for short course is fine. But for the long course meets, when there's qualification for international competitions on the line, you want to have a bit more spread out.
So we've got Shiva Brady coming in there on a 3:24.45. So great PB there from Shiva at about a 7-second PB, so I'm sure she'll be happy with that. So that's finishing off our heat number 1 of the women's 200-meter IM. Moving on to heat number 2, we've got 9 swimmers in this heat. Again, fastest qualifying time going in on a 2:32.15. So all of these swimmers looking to try and get back in for the A, B and C final for this evening. So let's see if we can get some more of these PBs that we've been experiencing all weekend in this second heat.
Yep, 200 medley, popular event for coaches to enter their swimmers in. Real test of all the strokes. Speed, fitness, technical capability. Lane number 1 here, Hannah McMaster opting to sit this one out. So in lane 0 we have Eva Hand of Ards. Lane 2, Lexi Dunn, the Dolphin swimmer. Lane 3, Darcy Walker of Banbridge. Lane 4, Ross Villion of Athlone. Lane 5, Eva Rock of New Ross. Marky is in lane 6. Lane 7 is Brianna Chamberlain, the Cookstown swimmer. And the 15-year-old in lane 8, Eva Walsh, rounds out this heat.
It is interesting from a coaching perspective, isn't it? Just as you were saying at the start of this heat, that they all know their strengths and their weaknesses, and coaches like to chuck their swimmers into a 200 IM to see what strokes they're strong at. But it is interesting to see when swimmers actually can transition from one stroke to the next, just as they're growing through, they're getting a little bit stronger. You can have certain swimmers that start off maybe as freestylers, but then chucking them into different events, you might actually think that they might turn into breaststrokers instead.
Of course, yeah, it's a great way to sort of, and your strokes will be exposed so much in a medley, in a racing environment, as opposed to training. So it's a good way to sort of understand, maybe as these girls are all very young, so they won't be sort of specialising in any stroke yet. I know I didn't specialise anyway in the one stroke freestyle, sprint freestyle especially, until I was 18, 19. So what about you? When did you begin to just go butterfly and that's it?
So I think it was kind of more of a transition from distance for me. So in ESB, when I was under the age of 18, I was kind of more middle distance, so 200 IM and 200 fly, and then moving over to clubs to UCD. UCD is probably more of a sprinting club by nature anyway, with Earl McCarthy. So definitely transitioned into the 50 fly and the 100 fly and the 50 free, kind of above the age 18 like yourself, and then just kind of introducing other small events like the 50 breaststroke as well, just as a power event. Yeah, and was that more of your decision, or was that a coach sort of saying, look, you're a sprinter, let's focus on this, this is where you can go? It was kind of a mixture of both, to be honest. I was definitely a good 200 flyer and kind of in ESB swimming, but I think it was kind of just seen from my first 100, particularly in my 50 front crawl. My 50 front crawl was a straight arm stroke, and I was never really able to keep it up past that 50 metre mark, so we just worked on the straight arm, and I was just able to pick up the speed on the 50 metres instead. Yeah, so these girls won't be at that stage yet. Their coaches will be wanting them to do all the strokes, but it looks like it's going to be lane 3. The Banbridge swimmer, Darcy Walker, 2:29.9. That's a PB. Good swim. She took that out really well. I know we were talking about different things during that race, but she took that out really strongly and just sort of never looked back. And Lexi Dunn there in lane 2. Yeah, again, great swim there. So all these girls definitely trying to pick up on their PBs in these heat swims. Again, we've got 6 heats, so all of these girls looking to try and get that second swim in either the A, B or C final. But 2:29.94 there for Darcy Walker of Banbridge. Great start to the morning. Coach Davy Wilson will be happy with that one. That's heat 2. We're moving on to heat 3 of 6. Always love watching Katinka Hosu on the 200 medleys, 400 medleys. When I was swimming at international meets and around the world, she would always be there. Yeah, the Iron Lady. She was
Iron Lady, yeah.
phenomenal at the IM events again. She didn't really have a stroke that she faltered on at all.
Scary, wasn't it?
Scary, yeah. And just her recovery between swims as well. She used to enter multiple swims on the days of events, and just, yeah, recovery between them. Still able to probably set records, take medals the majority of her events at those international meets. So, yeah, phenomenal swimmer there.
Used to just, I mentioned yesterday, I think it was in the streams, she used to just enter every single event at training meets. And she just finished one event, didn't matter if it was a 400 medley, an 800 free, a 50 back. She just did every single one. And when she finished, she didn't even swim down all the time. She just went straight back to the call room and just raced and raced and raced. And she did all of them world class. It was, I've never seen anything like it.
So we've got heat number 3 here of the 200 IM. So like David was saying, we've got 4 swimmers here actually from Nova Centurion. So definitely it does seem to be a favourite of theirs, kind of this middle distance, long distance swimming.
Yeah, in we go. Heat number 3. Leah Connell is in lane 0. Lane 1, Georgina Walker. Lane 2 is Balnight of Nova. Lane 3, Chloe Daybell of Nova, also of Nova. There 3 Nova in a row. Jackson Oates. Lane 5, Anna Feenan of Limerick, the Sunday's Well affiliated swimmer. Hickman, another Nova swimmer in lane 6. Clara Dockery, lane 7. Sekch is in lane 8, Sunday's Well. And Connery, lane 9. Shark.
Great start there from Anna Feenan. She's taken the first 50 fly out in a 30.62. Strong turn onto her 50-meter back roll as well, and keeping that stroke rate nice and high actually. A little bit of bobbing maybe coming into that first turn, but she has nailed it perfectly, and a strong kick off the wall as well.
Yeah, she's really separated herself apart from the field. Strong fly leg. And she is not looking back. Similarly to Mark Schranek. She said, I'm just taking this one out. Come with me if you want. Feenan, 66.8. She has an entry time of 2:29.0, so she'll have her own goals. The National Centre Limerick swimmer.
Still looking strong on this breaststroke leg, but we've got lane 4. We've got Lily Oates-Jackson catching up strong for the Nova Centurion swimmer. Gaining a little bit of ground, particularly on that underwater now. Just really diving into each of these strokes.
Yeah. Come up alongside her, yeah. We always talked about it. We've said, you're probably bored of us saying it, about the breaststroke, so important on the medleys. Exposes you. If you have a strong breaststroke, your life is going to be so much easier.
1:51.17 though, so really strong start to the race. Definitely looks like they're going to be breaking this time. Entry times, we've got a 2:28.98 and a 2:29.06 for the 2 leaders. Looks like if they can keep this momentum up and keep that front crawl kick nice and strong, good finish off the wall there from Lily as well. It looks like they're going to be having some strong heat swims.
Yeah, phenomenal. She's coming in, great leg kick. Keep the head down at the end. Good finish. 2:24.9. Feenan in a 2:26. Fantastic swim for her. PB as well. Sek from lane 8 got into their third. Balnight right behind her as well.
Yeah, great swims from the girls there. Really did take it out strong, and just kind of held on to that lead, but definitely Lily Oates-Jackson, really strong 50 breaststroke leg there, and just caught up a lot of ground after that first 100 meters and finishing strong in a 2:24.96, so nearly a 4-second PB there for the Nova Centurion swimmer, 17 years of age. Moving on to heat number 4. Again, we've got a full field. We've got all 10 lanes used up. Yeah, can't see anyone missing out of heat number 4. Fastest qualifying time going in at 2:26.49.
Okay, heat 4. Enjoying this one this morning. Some great events. And we've got actually Daniel Whiffen to look forward to in the 400 free in a wee bit. Next event, maybe actually, is it? Yeah, next event. So, exciting times. With the music blasting here in the NAC. Swimmers swimming fast. It might be freezing outside, but the swimming's hot in here. Okay, top of your screen, Miskelly taking this one out. Lane 0, we have Parkins. Lane 1, Miskelly. Lane 2, Shea. Lane 3, Eva Bailey of New Ross. Lane 4, Heather Fain of Dolphin. 5 is Ellie Campbell. 6, Lucy O'Brien of Limerick, only 13 years old. Lane 7, Alana Burns-Atkin. Lane 8, Emma DeMont. And lane 9, Jessica Purcell. Up there in lane 7. Sorry, excuse me, I said it was Miskelly. It's not. It's Alana Burns-Atkin, excuse me. Taking it out nicely. Banbridge, strong contingent of girls from Banbridge. And it's the middle lane now. Lane number 4. That is Heather Fain of Dolphin. Coach Mick McCormack. Fantastic setup. Cork Dolphin program. Great work ethic in that club. You see why they're getting so much results. Such an enthusiastic coaching team. But the field's starting to bunch up a wee bit, India, on this breaststroke leg.
Yeah, Heather Fain taking it nice and strong. A little bit slower than the previous heat. So previous heat, the first split was 106. We're coming in on a 107 there for Heather Fain. But it does look like we've got our swimmer out in lane 7, just gaining that little bit of distance on this 50-metre breaststroke leg. That's Alana Burns-Atkin. Again, she's having a great meet, really strong on multiple 200 events actually. Starting off with a 200 fly, she took a strong swim in that 200 fly, so she clearly is a very strong 200-metre swimmer. She's got that fitness, she's got that aerobic fitness, that anaerobic fitness too, and just needs to hold on strong, keep that leg kick high for this final 50 metres of the 200 swim.
Yeah, the freestyle at the end is about just hanging on, going for it. But it is Burns-Atkin, Banbridge swimmer, taking this race by the scruff of the neck. She's an entry time of 2:27.2. Should beat that comfortably. Yeah, she will. 2:25.7. Great swim for her. Should be enough to get a second swim tonight. Of course, A, B, and C finals.
Yeah, 2:25.71 taking that swim, taking that heat. So Alana Burns-Atkin. We've only got 2 more heats of this event. So it looks like some of those girls might be taking a spot in either the B and C final. But moving on to heat number 5, we have got a quicker change in pace. So fastest qualifying time going in on 2:22. But you've got your results there of the previous heat. So again, Alana Burns-Atkin finishing strong in a 2:25.71.
Yeah, a lot of these girls swimming in multiple events, just seeing the same names pop up. So nutrition really important, isn't it, India? Throughout a gala like this, 3 days of intense racing packed in. You've got to be eating right, and not only eating the right foods, but also at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of about getting all those fundamentals nailed during these 3-day meets, particularly when they have so much swimming going on. Like I said before, it's not just the races that you need to think of. You need to think of like the amount that they're doing in their warm-up, the amount that they're doing in the swim down, multiple races throughout the day, and then doing that in final sessions as well. So they're clocking up quite a few meters in every single session. So getting their nutrition on point, getting their hydration on point, their sleep on point, recovery in between sessions as well. So yeah, it's getting about those fundamentals down before they think about their performance.
Yeah, I know you're a nutritionist yourself, so how important sort of I always found that if I didn't get some food in me, you know, within, whether it's a protein shake or chocolate milk or banana, you know, within the 30 minutes of racing, that later on, a few hours later, I'd be even more tired.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it definitely is quite individualised. You'll probably know yourself as a coach that you have certain swimmers that absolutely cannot stand eating before training sessions in the morning, and then some will have to have a massive breakfast before they come training in the morning. So each individual swimmer will have their own kind of routine when it comes to how they recover after training. But yeah, it is very important, in particular if they are swimming this much in the day, to really get the carbs back into their muscles. So all that glycogen really restoring back into those muscles, and also just making sure they're getting a good protein source into them as well, to make sure that all that muscle breakdown that's happening is being recovered after every single session as well. So
it's very easy to just think about, oh, you need carbs, you need lots of bread, pasta, or sort of get the food in you, but the protein's even more important, isn't it, during a gala?
Absolutely. And then if you're going to be eating very high fat foods as well, you're just going to feel a little bit more sluggish. So it is kind of focusing on getting good carb sources in, good protein sources in, still thinking of those healthy fats too, but also staying on top of your hydration as well is just as important.
That's more important, isn't it? The hydration is the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, people kind of forget that even though you're in the pool, you're losing a ridiculous amount of water when you're swimming, and also like when you're sitting in the NAC in particular, it's a very hot pool to be sitting in. Majority of pools
It's not cold up here, is it?
It's not cold up here at all, so even just sitting in the heat, they definitely need to be staying hydrated.
Yeah, great insight there. So lane 0, taking it out. Micallef, the Maltese swimmer, the 24-year-old. 41-3 split on the breaststroke for her, so she's got to up it, go to the legs here in the freestyle. No one beside her, sometimes better like that. Breathe into the wall. You're not influenced as much by everybody else. So she's looking really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see an outside lane as well, just really taking dominance over this field. Looking really strong coming into this last 25. We've also got lane number 8 as well. We've got Hannah McCabery, the Lurgan swimmer, who's also been swimming really well. It looks like she might just pick her to the post here.
Lane number 8. Lane number 8. It didn't register McCabery, but she got the touch. Almost sure of it.
2:23.82 there for Hannah McCabery is coming up on your screen. So yeah, just taking the touch on that swim.
There you go, yep. So, great swim for her. It's a PB.
Yeah, just over a second PB there for Hannah. So definitely looks like she's going to be making one of those finals this evening. So an extra chance to race again. But she did look very strong in that heat swim.
She did for sure. She'll be back tonight. So this last heat, we've got some great names. Ellen Walsh goes in lane 2. Entering a 2:15. Obviously hasn't raced in a while. Suffered from illness over the last year. So great to see her back winning, breaking records. That 50 fly last night, she broke the Irish senior record. First woman under 26 seconds. So great to see her. Molly Main as well. Great swimmer. In lane 4, Grace Davison, the young prodigy from Ards, Commonwealth Games. Athlete for Team Northern Ireland at Birmingham. So this will be a good one. So lane 0, Erskine. Lane 1, Iona Colbert of Nova. Lane 2, Ellen Walsh, Templeogue. Lane 3, Schlosson of Leeds. Lane 4, Molly Main. Lane 5, Grace Davison, Ards. Lara Thompson is lane 6. Lane 7 is Kate Morris. Naomi Trait is in 8 from UCD. And the 16-year-old from Aer Lingus, Aoife Doran, is in lane 9. But look at this from Ellen Walsh.
Yeah,
of course, expected, wasn't it?
We always knew she was going to take it out strong. Fly being a great event for her. That first 50 taking it at a 27.39. So only about a second above that Irish senior record that she took last night. So really strong start to this 200-meter IM. But again, like we said, Ellen Walsh doesn't really have a weak stroke, does she? She's very strong on all 4. But those underwaters, look at that, taking nearly 2 body lengths ahead of the pack, just 75 meters in.
Yeah, take note. Save that timestamp on YouTube, girls. Watch that over and over. Try and emulate that. So she's the Irish senior record holder in a 2:08. So out in a 59 is super quick. And she loves the breaststroke as well. Coach Brian Sweeney, you can hear him screaming in the background. Well, we can. Don't know if you can. But yeah, Walsh just taking this out very, very comfortably. Main as well, just behind. Swimming well, obviously the breaststroke specialist. Great turns.
Yeah, like you said, David, we've got some great names in this swim. So we've got a great even pack kind of behind. Molly Main taking dominance in that second position, but we've still got Ellen way out in front, turning on a 1:37.89. Let's just see how she's going to take this 50 front crawl. Is she going to ease up a little bit, or do you think that she's going to go for a time here?
Well, we'll see by her leg kick. I think she's easing up slightly. Don't think she's... You usually tell by a swimmer's leg kick if their legs are going like crazy that usually means they're going for it. Doesn't mean they're not going for it if they're not. They may be just hurting, but I think she's sort of easing off a wee bit. And naturally, subconsciously in the morning, you're not as sort of up for it as you would be in the evening, but she is very, very good swim. 2:10.1. Really great swim. Molly Main second, 2:12.9. Came back on a 31.7. Very fast. And Davison 2:17.1. The 3 names we mentioned were 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Walsh has got a sub 2:10 in there. It doesn't even look tired. Yeah, just got the job done there.
Yeah, great swim for those 3 girls, but I think they knew themselves all they needed to do. Just take their time, conserve a bit of energy. They know they're going to make that final swim. So again, Ellen just working on all that technical points off each wall. 2:10.18, great start. But we definitely know that she's got a lot more in her for her final swim this evening.
Yeah, looking forward to that one tonight.
Yeah, we know that she's on form after that 50 fly Irish senior record yesterday, 26 seconds. Fantastic swim from her there. But it's time to move on to the men's 400 meter freestyle. And we all know who we're looking out for here, don't we, David?
No idea. Who is it? No, only joking. Of course, Daniel Whiffen will be coming in the last heat. Spoke about him a lot over the last few days. And rightly so. a phenomenal fortnight of racing. That unbelievable 1500 of 14:14 at the Scottish National Championships last weekend. 6th of all time, fastest in the world this year. Would have won the World Championships in Melbourne. And then the 800 free on opening day here. That unbelievable 7:25. Phenomenal, one of the best swims I've ever seen live. It was a privilege to commentate on that one. So 400 free for him now. Step down in distance, but everyone's enthralled to see where he can go. He's hot property at the minute, but in this one, first heat, Barry McClements in again. Andrew Mullen, lane 4, and lane 5. Loudon of Trojan, the 14-year-olds. So the 400 free, bit of a weird one. It's definitely a middle distance event, distance-ish event. Pacing has to be really on point. Let that first 100 kind of just set you up, and then you got to settle into your rhythm and build the 400. You know, you can't, like India mentioned a lot yesterday, you know, once that rate drops, it's very difficult to get that rate and that rhythm up again. So these swimmers will be looking at that first 100 will always be faster because of the dive, and then build each 100 from there. Strong, 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 and then try and hang on.
Yeah, like you said, David, it pretty much is trying to find that consistent pace throughout that 400. So setting up yourself with a decent pace on that first 100, like you said, it's going to be a little bit faster because you do have that dive. But again, just setting into that rhythm and just trying not to allow any of that pace to slack off. You really do want to try and build on each 100. So trying to push yourself, particularly that third 100. We always talk about the third 25, third 50, third 100. You don't want to mentally switch off during that period. If you start to mentally switch off, that's when the pace is going to drop down. So we're seeing the lads here turn at 150 metres. So after this fourth 50, we're really going to want to see them kick down hard on the third 100 to keep that pace up.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've just had a pull out there from lane number 4, Andrew Mullen of Temple Oak. Don't know what happened there, but he's
all right, just sitting down. Yeah, maybe a cramp or problem, but didn't fancy it. If you don't feel it, hop out. So that's leaving these two now. Loudon and McClements to battle it out for the spoils in this opening heat of the men's 400 freestyle. Yeah, so we're halfway point now. 2:12, so this will be when I'll begin to hurt. This third 100. It's always that third quarter of races generally, of anything 200 and above, that is the key part of the race. You've got to really, really, not even go for it, but just set your stroke up, go for it, in the sense of you're building your stroke and setting your stroke up for that last 100. So coming in now.
We've got a nice stroke right here actually coming in from Barry McClements. So turning in on a 2:47.42, keeping a nice pace here. So 34 was his split there for his last 50. Just looking really long and strong. So our Commonwealth medalist here, Barry McClements of the NXC Swim Club, 21 years of age. So turning in to our last part of our third quarter of the swim. So 100 meters to go after this last turn.
Yeah, really took it out very easy, Barry, didn't he? And he's just sort of up on the pace now. He's a teammate of mine at the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast. He was a young boy then. He's matured now into that Paralympian and a Commonwealth medalist. Yeah, just coasting through here. He's from a lot of events. He's training through this meet a wee bit, so focusing on events for 2023. But here we go, coming into the last 50 now. This is where you've got to pick up the pace, engage the kick.
Yeah, but still keeping his pace quite consistent, still sticking with that 34 seconds turn on that split there, so 3:57.05. Going to want to see that drop down to maybe a 33 on this last 50 if you can really start to pick up that stroke rate.
Yeah, here he comes, phenomenal upper body strength, the Paralympic athlete. Has to have that because of his lower body impairments, but he's bringing this home really well. Last 5 meters now. McClements, 4:25 is best. He's going to be outside that, but of course he's training through this meet, so expected. You know, India, when you're off taper, you're not tapered. It is difficult to get down around your times, especially when you're a good swimmer like Barry.
Yeah, particularly when it comes to day 3 as well. So when you know that you're not tapered and when you know that you've kind of used maybe this event as a training event, trying to keep that momentum going, even mentally trying to get that momentum going on your final few races. It is quite difficult, but still coming in on a 4:30.98, still a good time for when you're untapered.
Definitely. So you see there, that Irish senior record is a 3. It's Jack McMillan, if memory serves me well. Yes, Jack McMillan, 3:42.4 is the 400 free record. But actually, I think it was Whiffen broke it, didn't he, on the way to that 800 record on opening day. So expect to see an Irish senior record obliterated, if not this morning. Tonight, but knowing Daniel, he'll probably just go for it this morning as well. But heat 2, this men's 400 free, popular event, 5 heats. Okay, summary of the field. We have Neelan in lane 0, Coleman Swim Club. Lane 1 is Egan of Aer Lingus, the 15-year-old. Daniel Harvey is in lane 2 of Ards. Dara Horgan, we've seen him a few times this meet. Limerick is in lane 3. Lane number 4, Alex Barrett of Blackrock. O'Driscoll is in lane 5, Sunday as well. Mark Gill, lane 6, Trojan. The Glenalbyn swimmer is in lane 7, Middleton. Weafer in lane 8 of Longford. And Robert Mullen as well in lane 9 of Temple Oak. So yeah, very close times here actually. 4:20s in the middle. The outside guys with times of sort of 4:24, so this should be kind of close.
Yeah, they're taking it out strong, so 28.6 was our first 50 split there. If our times in this heat are around a 4:20, they're going to be averaging around 104 to 106 per 100 meters. So be interesting to see what pace they're going to split on this first 100, just to take out and set their standards as they go through this 400. So 60 seconds, obviously the first 100 is going to be that little bit faster, like David said, because we have our dive, but it's just about keeping that momentum up now. So starting off on a 60 point for majority of the pack here. Let's see who can keep that momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, they go a sub 4:20, which a lot of these guys will be looking to do. You know, you want if you're out in a 60 point, let me do the math. You want to be maybe averaging, 60, 63s, 64s. To get under. If you go 60, 64, 64, 64, that'll be at 4:12. So yeah, 65s even wouldn't be the worst.
Again, we've got 5 heats of this men's 400 meter IM. So we've got 3 finals up for grab this evening. We've got the C, B and A final. So this heat here in particular, they're going to want to try and improve on that PB if they want to try and make a second swim this evening. Like I said, it is quite a grueling thing to have to do a 400 meters in the morning and go straight into another 400 meters this evening. But let's see these lads pick up that pace and try and win their spot in one of those finals this evening. So 2:06.54 for Dara Horgan, the Limerick swimmer. That's a great start for his first 200 meter split. If he can keep this pace going, he's definitely going to smash his time of 4:20, but we're going to need to see an average of at least a 1:06 per 100 on these second 2 lengths.
Yeah, I think he'll do it. He's looking good. He's attacking those turns, which is great to see. He's not decelerating into them. You need to accelerate into the turns. Really focus on the rotation speed. So easy to forego that on a 400. Because you do have so many turns in the 16 lengths of the short course pool.
And again, we're on to that third 100 now, aren't we, David? So it's also all about not turning off, not reducing that speed too much, because we really need to kick down into this fourth 100 coming up.
Yeah. Got to keep it up on the third 100, which he's doing fantastically. Field trying to stay with him. Top lane there, lane 8. It's Weafer. Looking really good. He's got an entry time. Hold on, I'm losing more. Weafer, yes, lane 8. 4:24 is his entry time. I was getting confused there because lane 9 is not swimming.
Yeah, so we had a 3:11 turn there for Dara Horgan. He's on to his final 3 lengths now, coming into his last 3. So we're looking for at least a 1:07, 1:08 if he wants to break that entry time of a 4:20. But he's looking strong here, starting to bring in that leg kick a little bit more, keeping that arm stroke really strong.
Yeah, this is where it changes from your sort of aerobic stroke into more of a sprint. Go to the anaerobic system now. It's funny, you can actually use your anaerobic system here at the end of a 400 free. just to get that bit of extra speed because they are different systems.
He kept that pace quite consistent throughout this race anyway, hitting around a 32.5 to a 32 high on majority of his 50s, but finishing off strong in this last 12.5 meters. Definitely going to break that time of 4:20. Probably going to hit about a 4:16. Yeah, 4:16.62 for Dara Horgan of Limerick Swimming Club. So great swim, from his 400 meter front crawl this morning.
Yeah, that's how you do it. 4:16, smash it, take it out, and don't look back. That was a great swim. Technically very, very good. Split it really, really well. 4:16, the only man under that 4:20 mark. The others will have to wait till next time.
Got your results there up on screen. Again, Dara Horgan, Limerick, 4:16.62. Moving on to our third heat. Again, we've got 10 swimmers in this heat, really bringing the pace down. Fastest qualifier in 4:14. And then, yeah, outside lanes at around 4:17. So it should be a good race between all of them. Again, averaging around of 1:03 per 100. So we'll be keeping an eye on those splits throughout.
Yeah, really tough event, the 400 free. Tough event to train for. Lots of meters. Lots of pacing, lots of 100 meter repetitions, 50 meter repetitions. Lane 2 up for this one. Cian Foley. Okay, we're in the water. Heat number 3 of 5. Lane 0, we got Dara Rusk. Lane 1, Karsodi Naji of New Ross. Lane 2, Cian Foley, New Ross. Lane 3, Daniel Walker from Nova. Another New Ross swimmer, Emmett Cousins, is in lane 4. Katia of Malta, lane 5. Sean Bulger, lane 6, Sundays well. Hansberger of Hamilton is 7. Ben David of UCD is in 8. And Paddy Cuddy of Kilkenny, the 14-year-old, is in lane 9. So settling into this now, like we mentioned earlier. Use that first 100 to set up your stroke. Don't tense up too much in this first 100. Don't get excited because you feel good and you're shaved and the stroke feels easy. A lot of these swimmers will be tapered and shaved down. You feel like a very different swimmer when you shave down. You know, you almost feel like, the way I describe it is like a bar of soap. If you hold a bar of soap when your hands are wet, that's what it feels like for non-swimmers watching.
So we've got a strong lead there from Ben David, UCD swimmer, 57.86. Got an interesting stroke there, doesn't he, David? He's got like more of a fly single arm stroke on that arm that comes over.
Very interesting. Left arm comes right over the top, almost like straight arm. It's working for him. It does almost look like fly, doesn't it? It
does. It's like a single arm fly stroke there coming in. But yeah, definitely does seem to be working with him. Let's just see what his split time is. So again, going on to 57. Yeah, still sticking with the 31 there for his third 50 coming in. So if he can maintain this 31 speed, definitely be breaking that time. His entry time 4:17.36.
Yeah, the advantage to that is because his left arm's coming over straight. So he's sort of forcing himself to have a really long stroke because his arm isn't bent. So as it comes over the top there, you know, he's putting his hand as far in as it can because his hand's already at full extension. So although that'll be a lot harder on the shoulders, India mentioned yesterday about the differences between straight arm freestyle and the more bent arm conventional way of swimming freestyle. You know, I don't usually see the straight arm in a 400, but Ben David's he's making his own rules and taking this one out really comfortably. Really
strong there, the 200 meter mark as well, coming in on 2:00.77. So still keeping that pace quite consistent. It is, again, I think I've mentioned it before, Earl McCarthy, head coach in UCD, a lot of his sprinters would have that straight arm stroke. He seems to be transferring this into more of the middle distance as well, but it does seem to be working for Ben David. Again, that split time there, still staying really strong for each 50.
Yeah, and also coming up closer to us in lane number 1, it's Karsodi Naji of New Ross, 19-year-old, sneaking up a wee bit, but it's still Ben David just keeping that rhythm of that stroke. You know, like we said, there's many different ways to swim, different techniques. Don't have to all be the same. It's about how you get through the water at the end of the day. Nobody remembers the technique, they remember the time.
Absolutely. So he was easing off a little bit there. So like we said, third 100 was a little bit slower. So it's about him trying to maintain that pace or try and get back up to that pace that he started with. So he turned on the 2 minutes and then came in on 3:06. So third 100 around a 1:06. Again, he's just going to have to try and keep that pace going. But it does look like our new Rossimer is starting to gain some ground on him here. New Rossimer in lane number 1.
Yep, Fran Moonen was chatting to her yesterday. Really happy with how her new Rossomers are going, but Ben David, I think, is going to win this one. He's just taking it out really nicely and never really looked back. The field beginning to bunch up again at the end, but yeah, I think these guys are going to PB here. 4:17 for Ben David, his best. For Sodi Naji, 4:17, his best also. So they're going to break that. Yeah, 4:10.55 for Ben David. The new Rossimer, 4:11. So great PBs all around there, actually. Even from Katia, came back really well at a 4:13.
Yeah, real increase in speed there. Ben David's last 6 strokes looked like he had a lot more in him there. He was like sprinting into the wall, so finished strong. Nice to see again some 2 outside lanes just really taking dominance on that third heat of the 400-meter front crawl for men. So we're moving again, going into a faster heat, but we're still waiting on that heat number 5, Daniel Whiffen, coming up soon.
Yeah, all these young men looking to just gain experience racing this 400 free. So it's so tactical. It's not really like a 50 free or a 100 free where there's not too much tactics with it. You've got to learn how to race a 400 free. You've got to learn how to pace it, and you only learn that by racing it and doing it. Like India said, if you have too much at the end, well, you've got it. You'll know for next time that, okay, well, I can start sprinting and putting the afterburners on a bit earlier than I did last time. Penultimate heat, men's 400 freestyle. O'Loughlin, lane 0 of Coolmine. Ben Moore in lane 1, Aer Lingus. Ronan Fye, lane 2 of Trojan. The Hamilton Aquatic swimmer. Shafi is in lane 3. 2 Nova swimmers in 4 and 5. Luke Gill and Elliot Sibley. Dennis O'Brien, the 15-year-old from National Centre Limerick. Pfeiffer in lane number 7 of Bluefin. Charlie Cassidy is in lane 8 of Dolphin. And Gerst of Hamilton, lane 9, the 15-year-old. So beginning to up the pace now. A big drop in times. These middle guys are all 4:01s, 4:02s. So the one thing on their mind, and they'll be what? Breaking that 4-minute barrier.
Yeah, we've got Shafi here from Hamilton. We've been watching him actually throughout the event this weekend. Really strong underwater work. He is a very strong front crawler. He's got multiple strokes actually that he's quite strong on. Turning quite significantly in the lead now, 56.23. I think he's going to start attacking those walls as well. He's going to need to keep that pace going though if he wants to break that time of a 4:04.00, but wouldn't be surprised if he has that energy in him to break that 4-minute mark.
Yeah, no, he's really taking it out. He's having a great meet as well. Remember seeing him in previous events, so yeah, these two taking it out. That arrowhead formation with the fastest swimmers are seated in the middle, and then slower swimmers are subsequently in the outside lanes. So that's why it's always great to see the outside lanes winning sometimes. We're coming into the end of this second 100 now.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what his 200-meter split is. He's going to need to be down around a 1:56 or 1:57 if he wants to break that 4-minute mark. Splitting on around a 30.1 each 50, so a little bit higher than he needs to be if he wants to go down below that 4 minutes. But turning strong on a 1:57.03, so if he can maintain this pace of keeping a 30-point low pretty much for all these next few 50s, he should be able to break that 4-minute mark.
Yeah, that's what will be on his mind right now. Break that 4-minute mark. A lot of these swimmers' minds, that's what they'll be after. So going for it now. Don't go to the legs too hard too early. But he's trying to maintain that nice rhythm, that nice high rate. Legs will be beginning to get tired. It'll be a bit harder to get over. The legs over for the turns now. These guys will have all trained and know exactly this feeling. This is it now. This is where boys become men.
Yeah, we've got a strong comeback here from Dennis O'Brien, the 15-year-old that's in the National Centre of Limerick. So He was in 3rd place coming into the 3rd 100, but he's really gaining some ground here on that swimmer, Shafi from Hamilton. So let's really get behind him here. Dennis O'Brien, 15-year-old from National Centre Limerick.
Dennis O'Brien is repping faster 50s now, yeah. 30.6 there, so lock and change very quickly, as we've seen in this championships. These guys all will be looking to get back tonight. So let's see, he needs to put themselves 50 to go in that. He's going to need a big last 50 to get under. He's going to need a 29. 29.98, and you're there for Shafi.
Dennis O'Brien looked like he could break that 29 seconds if he really keeps his pace up. His last 50 split of a 30.02, so if he keeps this leg kick really going into his last 25, he might be able to break that 4-minute mark, but it's going to be tight.
Yeah, I think he's got it in him. He's paced it perfectly. He's sat up there like a fox, and now he's flying down. Get in!
And
yeah.
he did. 3:59.06. Amazing swim there from the 15-year-old from National Centre Limerick. Dennis O'Brien taking that heat really, really well.
Love to see that. He timed it perfectly. Just sat up there in lane 6, just waiting for his chance. Brilliant swim. Look at the difference there. 28.6. He was home in compared to Shafi. Swam it differently. Went out a bit harder. Came back on a 30 point, but
Dennis just had a stronger second half of that race, yeah.
National Centre Limerick having great meet, aren't they?
They're having a fantastic meet, yeah. So we're coming into heat number 5. Again, we've got lane number 4, Daniel Whiffen. Oh, have we not got Daniel?
No, we've got him. He's there.
We've got him, he's there.
Mark Sharanik's not there.
Put
up to the pull out of that one. Focus on that medley tonight. So we've also got Finn McGeever, the Olympian from Tokyo, in lane number 3 beside him, but it is all about Whiffen. And we'll be able to see very quickly if he's going to go for this one this morning. Phenomenal athlete. Supreme distance swimmer. Very quickly in the field, we've got Jack Casson, lane 0. Adam Colgan, Lisburn, lane 1. Joseph Kingsland, lane 2. Finn McGeever, lane 3. Whiffen is in 4. Shranik missing. Kennedy 6. Morgan 7. Saba is 8 of Hamilton. And Jack Fleming, the Lisburn swimmer, also at Loughborough, is in lane 9. So here we go. Whiffen is taking this one very easy, so he's not going for it. My word. Yeah, he's just going to chill this morning, nice and easy, get through, and then come back tonight. Hope these other guys don't think he's going for it. They'll be like, whoa, I'm flying.
Danny Morgan also missing in lane number 7. Great experience though for some of those swimmers as well, getting to see Daniel Whiffen even in the call room, getting to chat to him, experience basically how he's trained through these long distance events. He's a very nice lad, does like to talk to all the younger swimmers too, so nice for those previous heats just to even get to speak to him in the call room before this event.
Of course, yeah. World-class swimmer, one of the fastest swimmers of all time in the 8 and the 15. But I expect him to probably negative split this by a massive margin. So at the minute though, up there in lane number 8 is Saba from Hamilton taking it out. So the rest of them, obviously, we're all talking about Daniel Whiffen, but the rest of them also have their own agendas and goals. A lot of these guys already go sub 4 minutes. So it'll be about bringing that down as close to the 3:55 and under mark. But Whiffen will just chill this one and get through. Good swim beside him, McGeever as well. And also up in lane number 9, Fleming. Swimming really well as well. A Loughborough swimmer. Halfway point now. 1:57, just to compare, Whiffen went out in 1:49.0 on his 800, so that's the level of chill he's taking it. Can't imagine his heart rate will be any different after this one to what it was before, but that's going to be a great race tonight.
Nah, this just looks like a warm-up to him, doesn't it? Just taking out 400 metres, probably just loosening out those muscles. He knows that he has a space in the final this evening. When it comes to finals, were you someone that preferred to have a middle lane? Would you like to take it out a little bit harder in the heats and get that middle lane, or were you comfortable swimming in whatever lane you got in the
generally
final?
comfortable with every lane, but I suppose the middle lane is nice to sort of have the opportunity to have people both sides of you. But I always sort of went for it in the morning anyway. I was a better morning swimmer, so I would always just go for it in the morning. And so yeah, usually I'd be in the sort of centre lanes, but I suppose with the events, the 50 free and the 100 free, it's a bit harder to just take it easy. On the longer events, you've got more time to sort of see where the field's at. But I think for the likes of Whiffen, he just has to, it's all about time for him, No disrespect to the other swimmers in the field. He's not going to be touched tonight. So it's all about time for him. He wants to set a really good world mark, break that Irish record, and set up his long course season coming into 2023, the World Championships in Fukuoka. Expect him to be in finals there. Maybe even medals, who knows? With his current trajectory, anything's possible. But coming into the last length now, absolutely cruising. A good swim from McGeever beside him as well.
Yeah, finishing in solid here. Still going to break that 4-minute mark very comfortably. 3:54.28, and again, like you said, strong swim there from Finn McGeever. Limerick swimmer 3:55.23, taking that second place.
Yeah, the easiest 3:54 you'll ever see in your life from Whiffen.
Yeah, just one arm over the lane rope there, just chilling.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like he has got, I don't know how much, can't even describe how much more he's got in the tank now for later on.
Well, 3:54, expect a 3:38 minimum tonight, 3:38 for 400, that is.
Do you remember his split
quick
for his 400 from his 800 swim on Thursday evening?
Yeah, it was a 3:41, 3:41.0, I think it was. I was commentating on it with John Kenny, and I was like, I thought that's on the world record pace, has to be. And we looked at the world record during the race, and it was crazy, so fast, 3:41 to your feet. So, yeah, expect a 3:38 minimum from him tonight. Could be even fast. Will probably be even faster. Really looking forward to that one. But on to the last individual event of the morning. This is on the women's turn in the 400 freestyle. Only the four swimmers, in this first one. Sorry, 3. Excuse me. So, who's missing? What lane's missing?
Lane 3.
Lane 3 is missing, so lane 4 it's Abby Cunningham, lane 5 Eva Walsh, lane 6 Amy Sheridan. So how much do these young swimmers look up, to the likes of, Victoria Catterson in this event, who's been dominating the 400 free for a long time? Would these young swimmers be watching her and taking stuff on board, how she, acts around the pool, how she conducts her warm-ups, how she, approaches the race?
Definitely, I think, yeah, this is where young swimmers are going to, it's great for them to have that experience, to watch the more experienced swimmers and how they go about their kind of day-to-day life when it comes to competition racing. We only spoke about, I guess, idols there yesterday evening, to be honest, and I had the likes of, I guess, Aisling Cooney coming up through ESB, and I literally watched her every move. So it definitely is like when you're a younger swimmer and you've got the likes of Victoria Catterson dominating kind of this 400 freestyle. I'm pretty sure that these younger swimmers are watching her during her warm-up, seeing what her warm-up length was like, seeing what kind of pacing that she was doing, and it's just kind of those like little nuggets of information that they can bring back themselves, write it in their goals. I'm sure they all have these short, medium and long-term goals when it comes to swimming, so just writing them down and just trying to chip away at them day to day, from session to session. So
was Aisling Cooney your idol growing up in Irish swimming?
I have to say she was, yeah. So it was
Olympian from Beijing, wasn't she?
Yeah, having an Irish Olympian. She was a 100-metre backstroke swimmer, 2008 Beijing Olympics.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just absolutely incredible to have her in the pool. Just a lovely human being as well. She spoke to all the swimmers. She had many talks with young swimmers in ESB and other clubs kind of surrounding South Dublin too. So being able to have her, being able to ask her questions kind of day to day, train alongside, yeah, brilliant to have her in ESB swimming. Yeah. We had Dara Green come in through ESB as well. So having 2 Olympians come through ESB Swimming Club was...
Was ESB as well?
He started off in Longford, came through to ESB for a while and then transferred over, so...
Right,
yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Dara Green up in the not swim today. No, it's great for these girls to swim alongside, maybe not, even if not in the same heat, but warm up next to just great swimmers like Daniel Whiffen, Victoria Catterson, even the likes of Mark Sharanek, seeing how they conduct themselves.
And who did you look up to yourself, David, when you came through swimming?
In Ireland?
In general?
Anyone? Probably Barry Murphy.
Yeah.
In Ireland, I remember seeing Barry Murphy race in Rome 2009, and when the shiny suits were allowed, the full body suits, he wore a pink suit. I remember thinking, this guy is the coolest guy I've ever seen. He's from the 53 and he won a 22.0, still the Irish record today, or 22.1 maybe. I remember thinking, wow, because I was wanting to be a sprinter when I was younger. I loved it. I loved the idea of just who's the fastest swimmer in the water, who can swim from one end to the other as fast. And he was just, I looked up to him so much, and I would be good friends with him now.
It's always nice when you can say you have an Irish swimming role model as well. So having all these young swimmers come through, like you said, just watching kind of the likes of Victoria Catterson, Molly Main, Daniel Whiffen in the warm-ups, and just seeing how they conduct themselves, I can definitely imagine that they're all looking up to them too. Yeah,
and nowadays, it's very real. When we were younger, there wasn't as many good Irish swimmers. There just wasn't. The Olympics in Athens only had 2 swimmers from Ireland. Beijing, there was only
3 swimmers.
3.
Yeah.
London, was there 4? 3?
4, yeah.
Rio, 3? And then obviously Tokyo, there was 9 or something, wasn't there? So all these swimmers now that are swimming really well, the likes of the McSharries, the Whiffens, people can look, the young swimmers, Ellen Walsh, they can all look up to them. Yeah. And the likes of Ellen Walsh, who is just a club swimmer from, yes, I know she went to Tennessee, but she grew up swimming in Dublin, so it's good to have swimmers you can relate to. It's not only just looking up to the likes of, your Emma McKeons or Katinka Hossus or Sarah Stroshams, these sort of high-level female athletes, but also to have someone you can go, what, that could be me.
Exactly,
I can do that, Yeah. So even a McSharry swam out of a club program in Donegal. So, it's you can all do it. It's good to have those role models to show that
the Irish swimmers can do it.
You can do it, yeah. You're not any worse than anybody else.
Nope. And we've got coming into the final 25 here of our first heat of the women's 400-metre freestyle. So we've got lane 4 taking it, so that's Abby Cunningham, the 13-year-old from Kilkenny. So great swim there from a 13-year-old. 4:43.73. So again, 2/100ths of a second faster than the time that she's entered in on. But a PB is a PB, so I'm sure she's going to be happy with that one. Well done to Abby.
Yeah, great swim there. She's coming into the finish now. Number 6, Amy Sheridan. She's entered in a 5:16, just inside that 5:14. Let me stop talking, my voice is going now. That's heat 1 of 4.
All right, so heat 2 of 4 behind the blocks now. Getting ready to go. Fastest qualifying time into this heat, 4:34.64. That is the 17-year-old Ruth Kelly of New Ross Swimming Club.
And we're off. Heat number 2 of 4. Eva Hand, lane 0 of Arge. Ava Rock, lane 1, New Ross, 14 years old. Nessa Godden, lane 2, Kilkenny. Tony Jameson, lane 3, Lisburn City Swimming Club. The New Ross swimmer Ruth Kelly is in the middle in lane 4. Jessica Purcell, lane 5. Lane 6, Doherty. Lane 7, Hannah Malloy of Trojan. Cater, the Nova swimmer, in lane 8. And lane 9, Katie Prunty, the 15-year-old. So, there will be A, B, and C finals tonight, so all these swimmers will be looking to make it. But they won't want to be the ones that miss out. Well, maybe some of them will. It's a 400. It's not fun, is it?
Absolutely not. And for yourself, David, you're starting to take all these skill sessions, I guess, with different clubs around. Is it just Northern Ireland, around the country? So
yeah.
What would you be looking for here if you were to change up certain front crawl skills, I guess, in the 400 metres?
Yeah, it's just in the 400 front crawl. The technical aspect of it would be to keep long. Use your whole anatomy. Don't just don't just, swim flat. You got to really rotate. So use that length of stroke. You want to reach out as far as you can, rotate, sort of 70 degrees onto your side, and use your hips as, a bit for momentum and rhythm, and really extend the stroke, because swimming's all about efficiency. We get bogged down on times and power and fitness and all this, but at the end of the day, the best swimmers are the most efficient ones.
What would be the most kind of common mistakes, I guess, you see on a front crawl stroke?
Front crawl stroke would be probably on the underwater pull out, probably not pulling through the midsection, pulling out too wide. So you're the strongest right under your body. So a lot of swimmers will either enter too wide or enter too narrow, and then their underwater phase, the catch position of the stroke is a bit jagged because they're trying to fix it mid-stroke, whereas if you catch really, really, put your hand in that real length, good position, catch, and just pull right down close to the midsection of the body, that's where you're most strongest. If you do a pull-up, you're most strongest when your hands are in close, aren't you? So the swimming's really similar. You don't need to overcomplicate it. The less strokes you can take with less effort at the same speed, well, you're going to go faster, aren't you? So
like you were saying, training sessions is not all about the miles, it's not all about the aerobic fitness.
It's technique. Look at Daniel Whiffen.
The drill sessions that you're looking for from coaches and that kind of thing.
Look at Daniel Whiffen's technique. It's just so long and looks like he's not trying. So that's the key for me, length. Especially on a 400 free, it's the legs are almost just there to sort of balance you, and then at the end, then that's when you bring them in. So yeah, these swimmers will all have their own strengths and weaknesses, whether it's kick, pull. I know my weakness was kick. I was very good at pull. But work on your weaknesses, make them your strengths.
Certainly, I was similar. Front crawl kick was not my strong point, but definitely love to do front crawl pull. But we've got some strong swimmers here starting off. First 200 split, we had a 2:10, and they're staying strong per 50 here as well. 34s for the majority of the crowd here. Again, Ruth Kelly there in lane number 4, split time of a 34.37. So she just finished her third 100, coming into the final 100 of this 400 meter front crawl, really taking it out strong.
Yeah, they've separated themselves from the field. This last 100 now, you've just got to go for it now. Have to leave no prisoners. You don't want to leave anything in the pool. You don't want to finish a race and go, you know what, I could have gone faster. Especially if you're going for it. You want to leave it all in the pool. Even when I swam, every swimmer will be the same, even when you swam badly. As long as you did everything you could, you went for it. It was a lot easier to get over a bad swim than if you go, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. So
absolutely, as Bill McCarthy used to say, she said it's history now, it's in the past, can't change it, so get over it and move on. But yeah, we still have this strong swim here coming in from Ruth Kelly, 17-year-old from New Ross. Her entry time again, 4:34.64. Looks like she might just come underneath that final few strokes into the wall, keeping her head down, and she does 4:31.62. So strong swim there from the New Ross swimmer. 2 more heats to go. Let's see if that will make her a B final over that C final.
Yeah, I think it will. Great swimming, tough event, especially at the end of this compressed schedule, the Irish Winter Championships. 3 days, have a 400 free at the end. It's tough. A lot of these swimmers will have done good few events by this point. Relays as well. We've got a relay coming actually after. We've got the medley relays for men and women. They're time finals, so we'll get the first of our medals of the day at the end of this session. Only 2 more heats now.
All right, so coming into our third heat of this women's 400 meter front crawl. We have an empty lane coming up in lane number 8 and lane number 1. Fastest entry time still though, 4:28.24. That is from the 16-year-old Temple Oak swimmer, Orla McAndrew.
Yeah, all these girls now expecting to be in B and A finals. McInerney is in lane 0. Lane 2, Brianna Chamberlain. Lane 3, the Aer Lingus swimmer, Nika Shinka. Lane 4, McAndrew of Temple Oak. Lane 5, Hazel Bentley of Asgard. Grace Cochran, the 15-year-old from Lurgan, is in 6. Hannah O'Connor in 7, and Shay Shirt is in lane 9. So yeah, you do see a trend, don't you, of swimmers in the 400 free, just sort of very quickly you see the outliers who like to go for it a bit earlier, set the pace of the race, and then just sort of go, okay, this is my race. Can you guys hang with me? Every race we've seen it, haven't we?
Yeah, you can. You could definitely see from those 50 splits who is going to be a more front-led swimmer and who is going to be a more back-end swimmer when it comes to the 400. So we can see here we've got lane number 4 taking it out quick enough on a 30.02. And we're going to turn in a 1:03. So we'll know from her next couple of 50 splits whether she can maintain that pace or if she's going to drop off. So whether she's going to dominate the field from the start or whether she's going to be able to maintain it throughout the 400.
Yeah, expect to be a bit closer maybe than the last heat. Times on our start sheet here. We get given a start sheet up here of every swimmer and their entry times. They're all quite similar, especially those middle ones. They're all 4:28s, 4:29s. So going to the 150 mark now.
Now we've got 2 Temple Oak swimmers here in this heat. You can hear Brian Sweeney doing that call in the background, but staying strong with this stroke rate again. So turning on a 1:37.91, keeping that pace. So we've got 3 leaders here at the top, pretty much staying on each other's shoulders. Again, we're coming into the first 200 metre mark, so kind of looks like Orla McAndrew might have taken it out. She might be more of a front-led swimmer. And then we've got our Aer Lingus swimmer in lane number 3. We've got Anna, the 16-year-old. She might be able to come out a little bit harder on this second 200.
Yeah, definitely. Really nice. These swimmers now will be all eyeballing each other. I used to swim 400 years ago. Really good to... You've got a race, you know, when you see swimmers around you, you can sometimes, I know it's good to swim your own race, but sometimes you swim off someone, it's not a bad thing either. Gives you that wee bit of comfort knowing that you're in a race.
Yeah, particularly for these girls here, they pretty much know that they have made a final for this evening. Some of them probably will be aiming for that A final, particularly our 3 leaders here of the pack. So probably just using each other, just keeping an eye on each other, coasting off a little bit, and then they'll just kick down on this final 100 metres.
Yeah, it'll be all about tonight for these girls, but they're going to want to take bragging rights of who wins this penultimate heat. Coming to the last 100 metres now, the 300 metre mark. Yeah, it's Nikishinka. Great name. Leading off 3:19.8. She's looking really nice. Sort of breathing every 2, every 4 there. Sort of
I think she's mixing it up every 2
mixing it up,
every
yeah.
4, yeah.
So, interesting breathing pattern. Notice the majority will breathe every 2 here in a 400, but some will breathe 3, some will breathe like Nikishika's doing. She's breathing 4, 2, maybe. She's kind of settling into a 2 now. Because freestyle is all about rhythm. And especially in these distance events, you settle into that rhythm and you just let momentum carry you. You know, through the hips, the inertia you create, rotating your hips, reaching out. But it's actually the middle lane now.
Yeah, it looks like Orla McAndrew is taking that lead, coming into the final 25. She's staying nice and strong. Again, what you'll sometimes see when swimmers start to get tired on the 400 is that they start to shorten that stroke, but you can see Orla here still keeping it nice and long. That hand is just underneath the surface of the water before she keeps that high elbow, and finishing strong there in a 4:27.62. So a little bit of a PB for her there, which should comfortably make her through for another swim this evening.
Yeah, for sure. All them swimmers in and around their best. That's a PB, I think, for McAndrew. So Coach Brian Sweeney will be happy. Most of those swimmers will have another shot at that tonight.
There are results up on the screen there, guys. So again, Orla McAndrew, Temple Oak swimmers taking it in 4:27.62. But we're moving on to our final heat of this event. So event 38, the women's 400 metre freestyle. And in lane 4, we have Victoria Catterson, the 21-year-old NCU. She has her entry time of 4:13.31. Let's see if she's going to take it out hard this morning or if she's going to save herself for this evening.
Yeah, because it's a 400, you got to manage your energies, especially on day 3 of this meet. Tough putting the 400 right at the end. A few swimmers not in this one. Lane 6 notably. Lane 1. So we have Jessica Brandon, lane 0 of Nova. Trojan Swimming Club, Rebecca Frail is in lane 2. Anna Price of 3 of Nova. Victoria Catterson, lane 4. Lara Thompson, lane 5. Livia Kingston, lane 7 of Nova. Leah Schlossen, seen her a few times. City of Leeds is in 8. And then Molly McElorm, the National Centre Ulster swimmer, is in lane 9. So yeah, the final individual heat of these championships. There'll all be finals tonight after this. We've got some exciting relays after this event. The men's and women's medley relay, 4x50 medley relay, so that'll be good. But focusing on this for now. Taking it out is the Nova swimmer, is it?
Nova swimmer in lane 3.
Lane 3, yeah. Anna Priest.
Yeah, Victoria Catterson looked like she's taking it nice and easy for this morning and probably going to save herself for this evening.
Yeah, just sort of loping stroke, just chilling, similar to Whiffen. Gonna take it easy. Save for tonight. So, good battle actually, top of the pool as well. Those 3 swimmers. McElorm at the top.
Interesting to see the different track starts as well, the different dives at the start of each race, David. So we've got some people that bend down straight from the start, like you were talking about yesterday, trying to get that hamstring nice and straight on the front leg. We've also got people that stand at the start, try and get as much momentum off the dive. What was your preference when it came to a 50-metre freestyle? What did you think was fastest for you off the blocks?
Yeah, I was my weakest part was my start, but it was all about entry. Start's all about entry, so you can talk about power off a dive, and we'll see Callum Bain, and we saw Shane yesterday, Andrew Moore as well, how much distance they get off the block, but it's all well and good if you can dive off the block far, but you have to enter really efficiently with the smallest splash as possible. So that was the key, I suppose, and that and the transition. So it's not only the dive and getting that plane of angle, that angle of entry perfect and suited to you. So obviously if you're a very strong fly kicker, you can afford to have a steeper angle of entry and fly, because that'll give you more time to fly kick and come up. Whereas if you're a weaker fly kicker like myself, I had to have a much more shallow point of entry so I could get up quicker and get swimming. So it's all about working to your strengths, but yeah, the entry and the start is definitely the most key. So diving, gliding, that kind of training, that kind of drill. Whether it's a dive in, you glide for as long as you can. The best starter in the world, Caleb Dressel, can get the 25 meters, 30 meters, without even taking a stroke. So that's a key, and not as important on the 400, but still an important aspect of it. We're coming in now
coming up on that 300-meter mark. Yep. We've got Anya Priest still from Nova Centurion. So again, already spoken about Nova Centurion from Nottinghamshire, very strong middle to long distance swimmers. She's keeping her pace quite consistent. She's still turning on 33 mids per 50 coming into this final 100 of the race. So let's see if she kicks down a little bit harder with that leg beat and picks up the pace. We've got Victoria Catterson just coming up, maybe going a little bit harder for this last 100. Nab herself one of those middle spots, middle lanes in this final tonight.
Yeah, just creeping up. Just gonna get a lane for tonight. Book her place in the final. A lot of these girls from behind here will be looking to get, like India said, you want to be in the center lanes, really. You want to be in the race if you can help it. So by a faster heat swim will guarantee that. We'll come to the end now. Catterson just sneaking up. But it's still in the lead. It's the Nova swimmer.
And we're on to that final 25. So Victoria Catterson definitely has picked up the pace, going from 33 mids right down to 32 high. So finishing strong, still looking very comfortable. Definitely going to take herself the middle lane in tonight's final, and finishing in a 4:17.97. So
chilling, Victoria Catterson. Great stuff. 4:17. Anna Priest, 4:18.7. Rebecca Frail, 4:19. So yeah, when you're so far ahead of the field, you can afford to chill like that, but that wraps up the individuals. So 400 free, so we're on the relays now. These are our heat declared winner. We have 2 heats of men and 2 heats of women, so these are time finals, so it's important we keep an eye on the times. In this first medley relay, we have Sligo in lane 2. Dolphin are coming up in lane 3. Limerick are in lane 4. Bluefin are in lane 6. And Hamilton are in lane 7. That'll come up on your screen in a wee moment. Just confirmation there of the women's 400 freestyle. So we have to keep an eye on the times for these medley relays. Hectic changeovers into it.
Absolutely. So we've got the medley relay, so we'll be starting off with that 50-meter backstroke, so you can see those wedges are just going into the pool now, but again, like you said, the officials getting straight in, taking those wedges off. You'll be going straight from that backstroke leg into a breaststroke leg, then into our fly, and then finishing strong with our front crawl leg.
Yeah, always exciting, the 4x50 medley. Limerick strong team. Finn McGeever, the Olympian. Owen Corby, one of the informed men of the meet. Ooh, maybe we twitching the block there, but here we go. That's a great start there from the Hamilton swimmer. Rutherford, we've seen him and we'll see him later on tonight. In that 200 back, but here we go. Really high stroke rate head, staying really still. Watch the clock, watch the takeover. 25.5. Corby going in for Limerick. He's looking to make up some ground and he is moving. See you later. Look at the power. Yeah, that's really good breaststroke.
Yeah, that's really gained some distance there on the Hamilton club. So finishing strong. If you watch these turnovers as well, so the swimmers are allowed to move slightly on the blocks as long as their feet are still on the blocks while that other swimmer touches. So in general swimming and individual events, there should be no movement on the block as soon as they're taking marks, but allowing that little bit of extra momentum coming off the blocks, those swimmers can swing those arms forward as that previous swimmer is just about to touch the wall. But coming into this fly event, we've got the Hamilton swimmer gaining that little bit more ground. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to take it on this last freestyle leg.
Yeah, it's tight. As India has mentioned, you actually want to move before the swimmer hits the wall to maintain that momentum. Well, it looks like Limerick is Dermot Sutton, the 50 freestyle specialist, keeping that body straight, that head position straight. Hamilton trying to hang with him. He's not going to be able to, though. Coming in straight arm stroke, keep an eye on the clock. 1:43.53, so that's a time to remember. A 1:43.53. Hamilton 1:43.8 as well. Those are the 2 times that the next heat will be looking to beat. But
brilliant finish there from Dermot Sutton. He really looks like he swims on top of the water, doesn't he, when he comes into
so
that
high.
50 front crawl. Really, really high in the water. Great swim.
That was a strong contingent there, no disqualifications. Always good to see. This is a packed out final heat. And there's the lineups. All the big names in there. New Ross, Cool Mines, Sundays Well, NAC, Arge, Nova, Larne, Bluefin, Dolphin, Athlone. All the big Irish clubs involved in this one. Watch out for John Short, leading out Bluefin, lane 7. Another informed man of the meet. Medley relay, heat 2. Here we go. There can be a quick change of order depending on which team has the stronger legs. Nova swimmer has a crazy high rate. In the middle, really high turnover. That's what you want in a 50 back. Really high turnover, head still, really hard to do that. Here we go. It is the Nova swimmer, 25.2, great swim. NAC closely behind.
Yeah, really strong start there. We have our Irish senior record set by Bangor back in 2019 of a 1:38.34. So we have our own David Thompson as part of that team. And so let's see if any of these teams can get anywhere near that 1:38.34.
Yeah. Nova taking this one out. We'll be looking at that 1:43.5 to beat. Good takeover. They'll struggle to get caught here, I think. Barring anything, a disqualification or anything crazy, it's them against the clock. Top of your pool there as well. Is that cool mine, I think, maybe? No, sorry, excuse me, bluefin. Well, it's Nova, it's all about Nova. 1:18.7, the 24 split there.
Yeah, really strong swim from Nova Centurion. They're finishing off with 18-year-old Tom Truman, looking really strong on that front crawl leg.
Yeah, they're going to smash.
And it's going to be interesting who's going to take that
close.
second place.
Keep an eye on the clock, folks. 1:43. They're going to get under, aren't they? Great swimming. 1:41.6. They take the gold. Origin NAC, really close finish. 1:44.4. The NAC at 1:44.5. So close. That was great swimming from Nova there. They'll take the commemorative gold.
Yeah,
but
really
it is Limerick,
fast.
isn't it? With they're still faster for the Irish gold.
Yeah, so I think Limerick taking the Irish gold in a 1:43.53. Then we have we have Ards taking second in 1:44.42, and the NAC taking third in the 1:44.52. So great swimming from the men there.
Yeah, that was great. Nova just had too strong a front end, and they hung on really well. So, similar to the men's, there's 2 heats now of the women's. Just the 5, I can't count. In this first heat, that's the 5 teams. Come to the end of this heat session. Of course, no middle session today. We've had the 800 free in the middle session on day 1 and the 1500 the middle session on day 2. So, a bit more of a break today before the final session this evening.
Yeah, so we've got the females coming up now again, 4x50 medley relay, starting off with that back crawl leg, moving on to the breaststroke, then on to fly, and finishing off with front crawl. We've got Aer Lingus holding the Irish senior record, the club record, in a 1:53.99 that was set back in 2019. So let's see, we've got 2 heats of this event. Let's see if any of these teams can get close to that 1:53.99.
Yeah, 1:53.99. Really solid record, isn't it?
Yeah, very solid record from Aer Lingus.
When's that from? That's from 2019, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, a few records from 2019, sort of pre-COVID, aren't they?
Yeah, difficult enough for the swimmers there to have the, was it year off, 2 years off, depending on when their own pool reopened. But look like we're getting back up to those times anyway. So
definitely.
Yeah,
Great to see.
Swimmers are coming back stronger.
Well, here we go. Backstroke, just the 3 teams actually. In the middle here, that is New Ross taking it out. That's Bailey, the 18-year-old. Moving. Of course, these girls going to have to set a time and hope it's good enough for a medal. Good takeover there, safe takeovers from all 3 girls into the breaststroke. A lot of these breaststrokers would have been in the 50 breast there we had earlier. Seems like a lifetime ago now. Is that the shark swimmer coming up?
Yeah, shark swimmer Niamh Connery, only 14 years of age, but got a lot of strength there in that 50-metre breaststroke. Really diving in, so gaining some ground on the New Ross swimmer. And we've got the butterfly coming up next. Let's have a look at these takeovers. See if anyone's going to pick up some speed.
You have to time it right. You know, sometimes when you're doing a takeover, when I was doing takeovers, it always had to almost feel a bit dodgy in the air. You were like, oh, did I go a bit early? But those ones are the ones where you've nailed it.
Yeah, you're going to shave off a couple of
tenths for your team.
Tenths of a second, yeah, and it's it all comes down to that at the end of a relay race, particularly in those close heats.
Well, this is very close now, so just like we're saying, these relay takeovers so important. Well, here we go. Rosie Whitten. Great finish there from her on the fly.
actually never really got used to those relay takeovers. I was always sent off first in majority of my relays.
Oh, really?
So never had to practice them.
Oh, I love the relay takeover. But here we go. This is a close one. Middle. The lead's changed 3 or 4 times between all 3 clubs. But it is New Ross. Summer keeping the legs going. Head down. Let's keep an eye on the time, folks. 2:06.08. Let's keep a note of that. 2:06.08 for her, for New Ross.
Happy anyway, lane 4. Look very happy with that swim.
Shark just behind. And a 2:06.86. Sunday's well, and a 2:07. Not Sunday's well, sorry. From Belfast. Saw the SW.
Moving on to the final heat, and the final heat of today's morning session as well. So we've got 10 teams here in the women's 200 meter medley relay. Time to beat 2:06.08.
Yeah, some names here. Big names. Lauren, Ards, Nova. They've been everywhere at this competition. Yes, can't call this one.
Yeah, we've got some great names on that Ards team. We've got Grace Davison, Ellie McCartney, Sophia Quigley, and Victoria Catterson. So see why they are in
lane they
lane
could be the
number
favourites,
4.
couldn't it? No lane 7 maybe, am I? Portmarnock.
Yeah, Portmarnock missing from today's heat.
Here we go. On their way. Here we go. The girls all up and at 'em. Well, we can't see them just yet. There we go. Okay, so in the middle, like expected, it is Ards taking it out strongly. Grace Davison, great underwaters there. Nova, expected, they've been phenomenal on the underwater work. And here we go, watch the takeovers, all very quick and sharp. This breaststroke leg important. McCartney in for Ards.
Yeah, look at that power from McCartney, absolutely incredible.
Working on that in the gym. Only a young girl, only 17 or so years of age. So she'll get better, get stronger, but it's Ards and Nova at the minute. Just a world of their own, aren't they?
Yeah, Nova really taking out strong. We have a strong team there as well. You've got Iona Colbert, you've got Ciara Fletcher, Connie Phillips and Rose Gubbins, all doing very well in their own individual events. So we know that we had a strong Nova team beside our Ards team.
Most definitely. Nova beginning to exert themselves a bit more. It's 2:06.08, remember, is the time to beat from the last heat.
We've got our 2 clear leaders here. And then again, it's going to be a little bit of a battle for that 3rd place, but it looks like it could be lane 2 taking, or lane 3 taking that 3rd place.
And for a tight one, great takeover, Catterson. She's moving. Sprinting's really improved recently. She's just taking this one, going, you know what, I'm going to win this. See you later, Nova. Here we go. It's all about the time. I'll be well under 2:06. Here we go. Keep an eye on the clock. 1:55, 1:09. That is the gold medal. Nova 1:57.1, Lauren 1:51.3. Sunday's well 2 minutes. So actually, those are your medalists there, all from this final heat.
Yeah,
great racing there.
Fantastic finish there from Victoria Catterson. Like you said, sprinting really has improved over the last while. But yeah, there was no touching Ards there with that team.
You know, that was fantastic. Great racing there, so they take the gold medal. Not their first of this either.
Yeah, so we had Ards taking the gold, we had Lauren taking 2nd, and we had Sunday's well taking that 3rd position, with Nova taking a commemorative silver medal.
So that, yeah, we're going to have a medal ceremony very shortly, and we'll be handing over to the announcer for that, for those 2 relay events. So that's it for this morning's racing. We're going to be back at 5 o'clock for the finals. Some great finals to look forward to. 400 freestyle with Daniel Whiffen. Got Ellen Walsh as well. And Mark Sharanek also will be awesome to see in that 200 medley. So, see you at 5 o'clock. See you then.
So we're going to move on to our medal ceremony for the women's 200-metre medley relay. So we do need the team from Sundayswell, from Larne, Nova Centurion and Ards. We are just waiting for Ellie McCartney from Ards, if Ellie could make her way down to the presentation area. Okay, so these are our medals for our women's 200 medley relay. A bronze medal is presented to the team from Sundayswell: Beth Nolan, Isabel Kidney, Sharon Semchi and Anna Feenan. Medals presented this evening by Gary Stoops. FINA and Swim Island official. A commemorative silver medal to our visiting team from Nottingham in the UK, Nova Centurion team of Iona Colbert, Kira Fletcher, Connie Phillips and Rose Gubbins. Thanks very much to Gary Stone presenting medals this afternoon. And presenting a silver medal to our team from Larne, the team of Louisa Humphreys, Caitlin McCall, Doran. Again, thanks very much to Gary Stoops and Patricia Cleary for the medal presentations this afternoon. And gold medal winners, champions, Irish Winter Championships 2022. Women's 200 medley relay is our team from Ards of Grace Davison, Ellie McCartney, Zavia Quigley and Victoria Catterson. Thanks very much to our winning ladies teams. We'll just take a very short delay while we get the official results for our men's medley relay. So thank you very much, gentlemen. So sorry for that delay. We are now going to present medals for our men's teams in the 200 medley relay. We can see very crowded blocks here. So a bronze medal is presented. So we're going to present a commemorative medal to our visiting team from Hamilton, the team of Nicholas Rutherford, Adam Candil, Ethan Thompson and Jan Springer. Thanks very much to Gary Stoops and Patricia Cleary for presenting medals this afternoon. We now present a bronze medal to our team from NAC, Matthew Walsh-Hussey, Ryan McGinley, Oshin Tebbit and Isaac Fitzmaurice. Congratulations, boys. Thanks to Gary Stoops and Patricia Cleary. We're now going to present commemorative medals. Oh, sorry, excuse me. A silver medal to our team from ARDS. Congratulations, boys. This is Matthew Hand, Benji Cummings, Charlie Eatwell and Cody Dunnion. Thanks very much, Gary and Patricia. Now we're going to present commemorative medals to our visiting team from Nova Centurion, over from Nottingham in the UK, Ali Azamil, Nikolai Kuturansky, Tom Page and Tom Truman. Thanks very much to our visiting teams from Hamilton and Nova Centurion. It might be easier, boys, if you just swap places, the size of you. Thanks very much. So we're now going to present gold medals to our team from Limerick, 2022 champions, Irish Winter Championships, men's 200 medley relay. This is our team from Limerick, Finn McGeever, Owen Corby, Dennis O'Brien and Diarmaid Sutton. Thanks again to Gary Stoops and Patricia Cleary, and thanks to all our competitors. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much.